to prove it, I'm ready to do it, I can't be afraid now. Put me on the stage now, I'm ready to rage now. I feel like an animal stuck in a cage and I'm ready to break out. My time, none of you people can tell me to stop. This time, like the last time, you better get ready to race to the top. I'm ready to do this.
The long and winding road that leads to July 10th at Asbury Park Stadium is down to 4. This is the A7FL Final Four on Stadium. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Matt Ryan, joined by Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond. And to kick things off, we have an intense rematch of 2 rematches today as the Baltimore Rare Breed make their way up to Asbury Park to take on the Paterson U. In this Final Four showdown, we're going to have a big offense-defense matchup here. But Rob, Corey, I'm just excited to see the Paterson U walk into this game today and show what they can do offensively with a full squad. Corey, walking into this game, what are your initial thoughts?
Well, it's a rematch of an earlier matchup this year in Week 4, which the Rare Breed snapped a winning streak from the U that feels like it went into the 80s when the U is like what we think about as Miami U.
Right.
It was that long of a win streak. Also, it's a rematch of last year's Final Four in some ways because this Rare Breed team is made up a lot of the
Cobras.
What once was the Cobras. So
Right.
There's a lot of layers to this rematch, but I think the biggest thing that we're looking at in this game, Matt, is earlier in the season, guys, it felt at times that the U were trying to find themselves again after climbing the mountaintop so many times. They had to find a way to rekindle that fire that got them to the top.
Right.
And with the couple of losses this year, one to this Rare Breed team in Delaware, Abyssinia Stadium in Week 4, and then the potential rematch if they are able to get past this game with BIC, which they lost to twice this season, that motivation when we start the postseason at 0-0 and it's a fresh start, I think when we saw them against the Hit Squad guys, that's the U that we've become more accustomed to seeing.
Well, let's take a
and
look
that's the
at
team that this Rare Breed is going to really fear.
Let's take a look at some of the Paterson U in action so far this season. A team that walked into this year 2 years undefeated, coming out on the other side of it with 3 losses, but Pat Coburn showing up for this Paterson U offense.
And that's just an easy example of what this offense at its highest level looks like. It just looks easy. Now, none of those throws are easy. They're dimes, underhanded throws from an amazing athlete in Huff. The hardest thing is to cover these guys. But when we saw them against the Hit Squad a couple weeks ago, it felt a lot more like U football than most of this season where they've been struggling at times. And I think that's what is going to be the biggest difference in this game because the Rare Breed are facing a completely different team than they beat in Week 4.
And let's talk about this for a second. Quattrell Huffin on the year, 72 for 130, 1378 in terms of yards, 18 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He's averaging just under 300 yards a game, and he's thrown this year, guys, to 20 different receivers.
And I think
20 different
14
receivers?
different receivers.
And I think the biggest key for people to understand at home is all of those impressive statistics have been coming with a lot of pressure in his face.
100%,
the 6 interceptions is relatively high for Huff, who in the past couple of years has been closer to 1 or 2 interceptions on the season. But what we've seen is that even with the pressure in his face, Quattrell Huff is an MVP candidate and has carried this U team on his back to the Final Four. And what I love to see, Rob, is that in their first playoff game, they went back to what they're maybe more known for, where even though Huff can do it, and the statistics prove it, they went back to just pounding you in the face with huge running backs, a huge offensive line, and then going over the top with play action.
And a certain aspect of this that we have to talk about. Quattrell Huffin, in the last time these two teams played, didn't play the full game.
No.
Threw for just 72 yards. Kareem Moon had to step in. He went 6 for 11, 72 yards. That was his season high throwing, but this was the season low for Huff, throwing 72 yards. But still got a touchdown in, had an INT, but 37% completion. He went 6 for 16. Not the Quattrell Huffin we're used to seeing, but walking into this game, the U seem healthy, they seem reinvigorated, and they seem ready to go. But let's take a look at this Rare Breed team. Coming off of what we were considering the game of the year.
Game of the year.
Walking into today, this team carried by Rakeem Chaney, a.k.a. OG Buck, who so far on the season, on the games of the week, 9 for 18, 291 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. And that was week 4 against the Paterson U, pardon me. And he's 25 for 64 in the season. Only 631 yards passing, but 9 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions on games of the week. This is an impressive offense, but you can't say anything without talking about Tony Toe Tap, Marlon Anderson, number 11, and obviously Marcellus Pack Money. Yeah,
well, we talked about, the rare breed and their initial matchup. The best thing that they did was on defense is they got pressure on Huff, and that talks to Huff's stats and the fact that he wasn't able to complete the game. But as you watch some of the highlights of last week, Lenny Manziel coming off the sideline and winning the game, going 2 for 205 yards and a touchdown in what seemed like 3 seconds or an eternity for Florida. But I think when you look at the rare breed offense, even though you break down the stats of OG Buck, what he does is he calls a very smart game and a great game plan. And what they did last time these two teams met is the man who sealed it with the interception there, Pack Money, who is their big play man and the guy who bailed them out and pulled them, the win from the jaws of defeat last week against Florida. The rare breed used him against the U as a decoy, and almost every single play they came on that jet motion from one side to the other. They stressed out that edge of the defense for the U, making them pay attention to probably their biggest play threat, and then were able to distribute the ball to all types of different receivers, including guys like Beefy, their tight end, Aunt Mo, their receiver, Tony Toe Tap receiver, and a stable of backs that was able to be really effective against this U defense that I think has improved as the season has gone on.
I completely agree, and we're going to see what happens on the other side of this. When we return, we'll get the throw-off, and we'll break a little bit more of this game down for you. 4's about to turn into 3 and then into 2. Who'll be making their way to the A7FL championship game? We're going to find out in a moment. It's the Baltimore Rare Breed and the Paterson U. Stay right where you are, right here on Stadium. We are live. It is the A7FL Final Four on Stadium. Hello again, everyone. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond. And gentlemen, a game that we've been looking forward to since the Baltimore Rare Breed walked out with a win, 26-24 in the game of the year. You can watch that game on our YouTube channel and also watchstadium.com/A7FL. But we're getting ready for throw-off here. The most dangerous part of this Baltimore Rare Breed is Marcellus Pack, in my opinion. And heading into this season, guys, we were looking at Ashante Worthy as the most elite returner in all of football. But when you look at Marcellus Pack so far this season, possibly as unstoppable, if not more so, because he's got an extra gear that can just go in places that no one would expect.
And you notice it during these big clutch games where Pat comes in, shifts it to that next gear, and just goes crazy. I wouldn't say he's as dangerous as Ashanti Worthy, because Ashanti Worthy is making guys miss consistently. Pack is pure. He's a lightning bolt in a bottle. Like, this guy is just pure speed. And when he gets going, he's very hard to stop.
And when you take a look at the throw-off, you're wondering right now, if you're watching for the first time, what do you mean throw-off? Well, the A7FL, we've got some rules that are very different than what you're used to seeing. We're 7-on-7 tackle football, no helmets, pads, but we're all action, and no kicking or punting. Core, we also have 100 yards and narrower field, traditional 4 50-minute quarters, and then we have punts and kicks replaced with that 3-on-1 throw-off, and you guys can attest to how dangerous a returner of Marcellus Pack can be in that situation. We just talked about it, but it's the most exciting play in football, in my opinion. It's a dead ball down, and we're able to run on through there and witness some of the best football you'll see all year.
And another amazing part of the 3-on-1, just specifically in this matchup, is Quattrell Huffin is known for his prowess at the quarterback position and all of the magical things he can do there. But some of his more impressive highlights, in my opinion, coming from where I sit as someone who can throw a max 50 yards, is when he throws the ball 85 yards in the air. And at times in that throw-off, can neutralize a good returner. But one thing that LJ Smith always talks about is that when Quattrell Huff does keep it in bounds, he can be a liability in the coverage at times. Now, only at times. But that is going to be an interesting little subset matchup as the rare breed in the nice new silver unis we were discussing in there. Oh, I like the claws. I like the claws. I just saw the claws for the first time. And that's OG Buck, quarterback for the rare breed. There's one of the old time running backs.
And that's
hard body.
And we're seeing a full Paterson U roster today. We're seeing
I'm hoping that.
We're seeing a lot of guys. I was talking with some of the players, including Big Mo Ramadan earlier in the day, and they were talking about the opportunity at full strength to come at this rare breed team. The U have won the toss, so it'll be interesting to see how the Paterson U start this game off. And it will be the U getting the ball, I believe. And it will be an opportunity here for the Paterson U's diverse core of returners to really make a statement here today. And you see that line. Pardon me, the rare breed will get the ball first, which is an interesting choice, guys.
Right, I was just going to ask Corey, like, what do you think about the rare? Who do you think should get the ball first?
You defer because you want the ball in the second half. It's a way to jumpstart the second half when you're playing that field position game and that possession game. You know, at the end of the first half, you can decide if you want to take it to half or try for the 2-minute drill, we'll say, right? So I always like to defer. I think it's a smart way to go. And when you trust your defense the way the U has,
you definitely trust.
And then
defense.
there's Big Mo, long live Palestine.
And there you see Carl
right
Meisner there. Trying to get some last-minute information for his game, our 4 o'clock game, the Trenton BIC will be taking on the Baltimore Gators.
He's in charge of BIC, but what he tries to do is he sneaks on that A7FL hat with the camera so he can get a little bit of close-up extra little information.
Oh, that's why BIC is doing so well. I get it.
And
Carl's never stopped. Never stopped.
Never.
And we have to say it's a beautiful day here in Asbury Park. The heat, though, it is starting to get a little oppressive outside.
And
it's supposed to be a high of 84, but on the field with that turf,
it's like 99, man. And I think that's going to make a huge difference. I know I said it before. I guess everybody thought I was joking. Hydration on this field is key. Yes, we're by the water. You might catch a cool breeze every now and then, but with this heat, if you're not drinking your water, if you didn't take care of your body for the full week, you might be in trouble.
And if you don't have the opportunity there to, like, thank God they're not wearing their black jerseys today. They're not wearing their blackout jerseys.
They knew. They checked the weather forecast, I think, before they made that.
I hope so.
So it will be the Baltimore rare breed starting things off with the ball, and
we could start to feel it as the rare breed feeling it right now. We're starting to feel it. It's Final Four football, boys. Let's go.
I mean, you got to pick now. Are you going with OG Buck or Huff? Like, who you think it's the mind work of these guys? Who's going to be the smarter guy today?
And you see the officials on the field. The last time we saw the BIC and the Gators play in the 2021 playoffs, it was an interesting game, to say the least.
Amazing game.
It was an amazing game. I can't wait for that 4 o'clock game. But this game was an epic rematch, and you see Tony Toe Tap and the rest of the Baltimore Rare Breed in new uniforms today. So, you know, a light gray, a bluish gray with purple numbers and letters and blue piping.
I did speak to these guys earlier this week. They seem very ready for the U. They feel as though the U isn't ready for them at all. Like, they feel like they know something that's going to get them over against these guys today.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how they respond, because when you have like a miraculous win like they had 2 weeks ago, and they're able to beat a team that was basically going to win the game if they were smart, and then they snatch victory out of jaws of defeat the way that they did last week. Are they now a team of destiny that is going to ride that juju, or are they going to have a letdown because of the triumph that last week or 2 weeks ago ended up being?
And you take a look at the way, if you're the U, and you saw how the Rare Breed responded last week against a team that the U would consider below them. Do you think that they're salivating at that opportunity? They think they have the Rare Breed where they want?
I think, to be fair, the Tampa Nightcrawlers came up here and they proved that they were one of the top 5 teams in this league. And I think if you also ask the Rare Breed, did they play their best game, especially on offense, and OG Buck, their quarterback, they would say no.
But
so
I mean,
I think
any
that
team who doesn't do as well as you expect them to do always tells you they didn't do their best. So it's any given Sunday. I just think the Tampa team was a lot better than anyone thought they were.
But I also will say this. In week 4, when the Rare Breed came out on top against this Paterson U team, the U were not at their best either.
Of course, and that'll be everybody's excuse until you face now.
And the beauty of football is that we have the opportunity for these teams to stop talking about it, to just put it right out there as Huff gets ready for the throw-off. We're going to find out, boys.
It's the most dangerous arm in the 3-on-1 throw-off, the most controlled arm in the 3-on-1 throw-off. Quattro Huffin throwing things off, along with number 23, Sadiq Pitts, and number 25, Tyron Brown, who will be throwing it off here to Marcellus Pack. And the Final Four of the A7FL is officially underway. And here comes an opportunity for Marcellus Pack. Pack money cuts through, tries to get by Quattro Huffin, stays up. What a play by Marcellus Pack, but won't get him that far.
And the big difference, I think, between Marcellus Pack and Ashanti, like Rob said, Ashanti's not there to just go into 5th gear as quick as possible and try to break through. Ashanti's going to play with you. He's going to set up moves.
A lot of husses before he gets that
Great job from the U right there, their coverage team, with 2 relative rookies, Sadiq Pitts
and good job by
the Honey Badger, just making a tenacious play and getting him down to the ground.
And it was just about being in the right place at the right time, circling.
And usually Huff isn't. He is usually a liability against the speedier guys. So good job with Huff on that.
And here comes an opportunity for OG Buck, Rokeem Chaney.
Looks like they got a lot of size out there on offense for the Rare Breed.
But take a look at number 5 coming off the line. That's J-Rock Rogers coming off the edge. 2 running back set. 1 wide receiver at the top of your screen. The handoff cuts it to the big man. Goes down. Some solid game there, about yards. 4, and that's Omari Thomas with the carry.
And again, some insider, if you'd like to know, you guys called out number 5, J-Rock Rogers. I'm pretty sure when I spoke to the Rare Breed officials, they let me know they're running it at J-Rock every time he's on the field.
Well, and J-Rock seals the edge there. That if that play goes to the outside, there's a lot less U defenders to stop him. So even though he didn't make the tackle, J-Rock stood tall there.
And it'll be Craig Pitts anchoring the line alongside Mo Ramadan.
Long live Palenslide.
Shout out to him. And it'll be 2nd and 7 after the gain by Thomas. Thomas will get the ball again. Push the pile! And Craig Pitts with an aggressive tackle.
Yeah, and if you're new to the A7FL, welcome. This is our league, and this is how physical and dominant our players can be. Shouting out to those of you watching on YouTube who think you have a chance to run straight into the line, 1 man blocking you, and then you take a man's head and throw it into the turf. Although, you know, maybe a ref somewhere might have called that a penalty. That's just the A7FL.
That is pro football. That is A7FL football, the best football in the spring. And whether you're a content creator or someone who thinks they can play, bring it on Sunday. Got to prove it here. Cuts to the outside, and that one will be a huge gain. Omari Thomas, they are running the ball effectively here in the early going.
I mean, this time they let OG Buck is feeling him out. Like we compared it to boxing. These are jabs, 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 just to see what's open.
And what the play call tells me, guys, on 3rd and 5, you're going to hand the ball off. And once again, at J-Rock.
At J-Rock, I'm telling you.
If you're going to hand the ball off on 3rd and 5, your plans were to go for it on 4th down. So that shows where the Rare Breed's at. And give credit to OG Buck, who's a quarterback, calling 3 straight run plays in a Final Four when you know he wants to make a show of it.
One running back set.
There's a guy just hidden back there. He looks like a lineman.
Yeah, he's
Again,
at the fullback.
pushing that ball
Still
downfield.
running it at J-Rock.
A handoff, and that was a run by number 28, Mook Thomas.
And Isaac
Gain of about 5.
covering his face in the heat. I don't know if he just wants to,
With the lime green shiesty on. Go ahead, Isaac. I see you. But, I mean, he's going to overheat these guys. It's hot out here.
4 straight run plays, and even though that's a 3-yard gain, it's 2nd and 7. If they continue to push and push and push,
you're going to get that first. And they're chewing clock. And they're not giving – I mean, it doesn't take that much time for Huff to score, but the less time he has, the better it is for your team.
And the more you're effective at this, the more the play action is going to get set up down the road.
And how much of it is those speedy edge rushers getting beaten down over time to where you can just bust wide open and throw a big play?
It's just J-Rock, and they're literally picking on him.
It'll be 2nd and 7 after the gain of 3 by Thomas. Pushing up field once again, just driving in Mo Ramadan.
It is, big Mo Ramadan.
Hitting him with the Rakata tackle, just dragging him down into the dirt and giving him a bit of a spinal adjustment. It'll be 3rd down.
And he hasn't been here in a while, so Big Mo is licking his chops to get in the game and make a difference. I know he's felt a way about a few games that he had to miss due to family issues, but now he's here and he's going to show you guys who he is. Big Mo is very important in this game.
And that's the risk you run when you run the ball. Now you're in a 3rd and 5, and though they went with a run again, just their previous 3rd and 5, I don't know if your quarterback's going to be in rhythm without the opportunity to throw, and when you're asking him on 3rd down, it's a tough ask.
It's OG Buck, man.
Cheney under center, top of your screen, and there's a handoff again. Pushes the pile, but will not get to where they need to be, so it'll be 4th and a little bit, and it's an opportunity here for OG Buck to show what he can do. He's managed a good game so far. It's taken 4.5 minutes off the clock.
Right.
That is something that the Paterson U in years past didn't need time. Didn't need to eat up clock. This year, we've seen them hold on to the ball longer. We've seen them have to work and distribute, as we've seen 14 different receivers have caught a ball from Quattro Huffin so far this year. So smart strategy by Baltimore, and we saw them do it against Tampa last week as well.
But on 4th and 3, you're asking your quarterback, who has not completed a pass, not attempted a pass, not even looked at the defense, to make it happen by bringing in the spread offense. You got Ant Mo and Pac Money out there, but thank goodness that OG Buck could probably pick it up with his legs if he needs to.
In motion is Pac Money, play action. The ball thrown deep downfield, caught, slide, and brought that fumble.
I might have to get you a Believe in Buck shirt. Believe in Buck shirt.
Guess who needs to warm up when you got Tony Totap running free and you can just throw a nice touch pass?
Believe in Buck.
But I guess, again, great play call, but what do they do? Pre-snap, they send Pac in motion. The U defense is looking at Pac Money, who's a speedy receiver.
I'm not going to lie, he was very open.
But what they did is they run and they collapse on the jet.
Totap is hurting himself right now for not making that touchdown.
Well, I mean, he made the first down, and they still got an opportunity.
Play,
but it just wasn't able to get there in stride. The defense was right there. And when we were talking, Corey, with the Baltimore Rare Breed on Friday night, they shutdown corners are going to be the option for the Gators later on today. How impactful will it be for the U to try to shut down a Tony Totap and a Marcellus Pack in terms of pure speed?
Well, it's tough because 5 plays in a row they were calling run plays. They have to honor it.
First and goal, the handoff
still calling
cuts
run
to the
plays.
outside and stopped at the door, denied.
Big Mo with the slowdown, but that was still too many yards to allow them to be that close. And them punching it in against the U's big defensive line, big defense, is a punch in the mouth. And we got to remember, this is a Rare Breed team coming off of a win against the U. They're not coming in there as the underdog. They feel like they're above the U today.
And they're attacking the U with what would seem like a U style of offense. Exactly.
I have to agree.
I think there's a lot of levels to this moment right now. It's 2nd and goal, but they're going to go for it all 4 times because there's no kicking in the A7FL.
Right.
Nope, none at all. 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line, and OG Buck will take it. Takes it, slip slides.
In Buck.
Touchdown, Rare Breed, and OG Buck finding a way. He was on ice skates there for a second, able to find his way into the end zone, and Mo Ramadan not happy about that one.
And you may not see it on the highlights, guys, but that's OG Buck's superpower.
That's his game.
Calling the plays and setting up the defense for a 4th down where he goes play action. And then making the smart decision where he was about to hand the ball off. That was probably even a called run play. But then he stretches out the defense, cuts it back, finds the end zone. And now we get the extra point, which is a little bit different than maybe some of the football you're familiar with.
And David Watson will come in. There's no kicking or punting in the A7FL, and there's no gimme extra points either. You have to gain them with your arm or your legs, and it will be an opportunity for one here, the opportunity from the 5-yard line.
Yeah, we love taking the soccer out of it. You just get another football play. And these scoring plays, guys, are always important towards the end of the game.
And you'll see by the end of the game why they're important.
Watson, the receiver at the bottom of your screen. Cheney, some
pressure.
time thrown up, and that will be out of play.
And what the story of these extra points against elite teams, it seems to me that against each other they can't get them until it's crucial and you need to win.
Well, when you shorten a field and you're only allowed one play to get it in that shortened field, it makes it a lot more advantageous to the defense, right? But OG Buck just missed there on a crossing route. If he drops it in there to, we used to know him as 187, now he's 007.
Right.
But touchdown for the Rare Breed, 6-0. And Paterson's got to answer when we get back.
That's true. When we return, the Paterson U will bring Quattro Huff into the field. Will they be able to make the play and tie this one up, or will the Rare Breed defense hold? We'll be back with more in just a moment. It's the Final Four on Stadium. Do you think you can bring it on Sunday? Do you think your town is ready for the A7FL brand of football? Do you think in Atlanta, in New Orleans, in Dallas, Austin, or across the country, you have the players, you have the team to bring it to the A7FL? Be a part of the A7FL and learn more information on how you can bring it to your town at a7fl.com/owners. The score is 6-0, the Baltimore Rare Breed. It is the A7FL Final Four on Stadium. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond. And Corey, quarterback to quarterback, you had to have loved that drive.
Well, I was actually saying the opposite. As a quarterback, I want to have more opportunities with my arm, as we see the throw off here to Sadiq Pitts. I want to have more opportunities with my arm. It's amazing that on 4th down, Buck was able to just come up with a beautiful pass.
Ooh, found a way to B-button out of that, but then the second effort by the defense, that was number 59 with the stop. Pardon me, number 58, Kamar Hill. Big stop by them, and now it's a defense where we see Alex Harden. An impressive defense here from the Baltimore Rare Breed. Let's take a look at the replay here. Finding a way to cut around, and then just that second effort to go right at the ankle, find him in mid-stride, bringing down Sadiq Pitts, and it will be 1st and 10 for the U in less than advantageous territory.
I mean, we're going to see a very similar offense to what we just saw from Rare Breed, because Huff is the originator of that style of offense.
Well, is he going to be patient enough to not just go straight to the pass?
Of course.
I'm pretty sure he will.
Huff is a pass
as they see D-Train out there.
Yeah.
And hard body. That's another big backfield.
Play action.
Pass first guy.
The throw over the middle.
Dot boss, of course. Excuse me.
Wow, the B-button keeps it effective, but will be brought down. That tackle by number 6, Kenneth McIntyre, a.k.a. Sideshow Bob.
And like I said, that's the only difference you'll see. Huff is way more ready to pass, but has the same mindset, you know, with a slow-playing offense that's going to score quick.
As they hurry up. It's almost as if they were responding to everybody thinking they were going to call a run play. It was a great play call.
And it will be the snap, play action, throw. Oh, and that one will bounce off the hands of Kareem Moon.
A little bit dangerous there, going with the quick screen. But here's Dot Boss, always wide open. I don't know how teams continue to not cover him, but when you got a D train in the backfield and a hard body in the backfield, you just look all run.
You have to respect it.
And going big this early is certainly playing well for both offenses. It'll be 2nd and 10. The play action thrown over the middle.
To Pat Coburn, listen, they always ask, you ever seen a cheetah stretch? So don't ask Pat Coburn another thing. You know what he's about every time he touches the field.
And that was a big play. Coburn will go back to the
and both of these quarterbacks amaze me, guys, because OG Buck, his play calling, and then you just saw the 3-quarter underhand submarine-style completion, which was perfectly thrown to Pat Coburn there.
The handoff cuts up field and an emphatic stop by the Rare Breed defense.
Great
and
blocks, but he's definitely met.
Yeah, playoff football is certainly apparent here, guys. They know what is awaiting them on the other side of this game, and both teams are giving everything they have. And we were talking about Pat Coburn. Let's take a look at this run again, though. Cuts right
Darryl trucking right in there, but that's Baltimore's attitude coming in there. You know, a lot of times when teams play the U with their reputation, they already have that initial loss because they're intimidated.
They're scared,
not the Rare Breed.
2nd and 8, play action, in trouble.
Houdini Huff at it again.
Sacked 12 times this year and throws this one out of play. It'll be 3rd and 8.
Huff, a lot of times in a regular season game, might even try to escape and cut it all the way back across to the left of the field, which would have been a mistake, throwing the ball away there, getting a 3rd and 8 and not a 3rd and 27 or a fumble potentially.
Right.
That's an MVP type of decision that Huff sometimes goes against the right way to go about it.
Coburn will be set at the bottom of your screen. Huff in the shotgun. Dot Boss, an eligible receiver on the offensive line. One wide receiver at the top of your screen.
Potentially 4 rushers coming for the Rare Breed.
Now watch that edge.
My man in the neon might drop back into coverage, but
right, he's doing a lot of pump
if you want to stop the U, you get pressure on their quarterback.
Coburn in motion, and then Kyle Ward. The snap. Huff it,
Freezing.
throws it to Coburn, and for the
That's a first
22nd time this season, it's Huff to Coburn, and it'll be a first down for the U.
And Coburn is having himself a very good season this year, even though on this team he could be number 1, number 2, number 3. At this point, it doesn't matter, but he's actually making a huge impact this year.
Even with Joel Jumpman Rivera on the roster, Pat Coburn is the best overall route runner and the most pure wide receiver on this roster.
Which is why entering in today, he's had 20 catches of the throws, and there's the ice cream truck. Something you need on a hot day like today, but unable to get a big gain on that one. It'll be 2nd and about 8.
And on that 3rd down completion on 3rd and 8, Huff had time. And he had plenty of time. That's a slant. That's a slant that came all the way across from the right side of the field. He threw it on what would be the other hash, right? Because there's only one hash in the A7FL. If you've noticed, the field's shorter. We bring up 2nd and 7. The U going a little hurry up.
They always
they are always, and look at the edge rusher there, the play action. Throws it to the ice cream truck, one-handed, can't keep it.
Yeah, but he was calling for that, and Huff had to jump and throw it, so that's on the receiver there.
100%.
If he catches that, he's got one man to beat.
And he can usually beat the 1 man.
But let's credit the shorts there, doing a lot of work for the ice cream truck. Those are some HD shorts if I've ever seen them.
And to clarify, those stats are game of the week stats. And it will be 3rd and 7 with 3:11 left to play. A lot of
number
time.
18 at the top of your screen, that's D-Mar. He's maybe a guy that the Rare Breed are going to sleep on. He's just as effective.
I don't know who they just put on him.
He's just as effective as anybody out there for the U.
He might be a little more effective than they think.
Well, I mean, when you're comparing him to Joel Rivera on the other side, saying he's just as good is a compliment.
It's a compliment, huge compliment.
The snap. In trouble. Huff will have to Houdini his way out of this one. Throws it to the
catches
ice
it this
cream
time.
Paterson with the touchdown.
And number 6 will take a Choco Taco at the end there as the ice cream truck finds his way on the easy pass. But let's talk about the Huff throw. This is the A7FL. You're gonna get creamed by defensive linemen trying to kill you. Your job is to get the ball to the open men in space. Touchdown you.
And just a cold move by the ice cream truck. Colder than eating a sundae in the Antarctic.
And Kenneth McIntyre, Sideshow Bob, is laid as a sideshow here.
It's just why. Because he already scores the touchdown at this point. Excuse me, little boy. Have a seat.
He put that little stop sign up on the side of the ice cream truck. Stop. And he listened.
He looked him right in his eyes as he sat down.
To our social media team, if we can get a still shot of
the worst
of Kenneth McIntyre. YouTubers, ice cream truck.
The worst part about that highlight was how cold-blooded they went to the right camera to get that
Perfect angle.
Oh, man. Sorry, Kenneth.
And it will be Kareem Moon under center. 1-point attempt here.
It is.
Trying to make something happen. Throws this one. Caught. Can he get inside? Yes, he can.
And that 1 point, guys,
is going to make
is going to be huge later as we see some backflippery.
Okay.
Down truck luck.
These are big backflippers.
It's a hard luck play for the U.
Yeah, that's that's the small back for the U. That's their small back.
Darryl Luck
205
with the 1 point and some hard luck for the Baltimore Rare Breed. When we return, Marcellus Pack returns to the field to try to add to the scoreboard. Can he get inside the end zone, or will the Paterson U and Quattrell Huffman's arm stop and stifle him? We'll find out on the other side at 7-6. Paterson U with the lead. It's the A7FL Final Four on Stadium. It's the A7FL Final Four on Stadium. The Paterson U showing why extra points are super important in the A7FL, getting that 1-pointer to make it a 7-6 game, and now Pack Money is going to look to put another 6 on the board as he'll return here. In the A7FL Final Four, Matt Ryan joined by Corey Hammond and Big Rob Fabian. A huge pop fly here, thrown by Quattrell Huffman, and that one will bounce inside the 20. It's a live ball!
It's live.
But it's picked up by Pack. Pack trying to stay up.
Wow. Now, that's another play that's very legal. They can throw a sky ball and chase it down. You see, those guys are fast enough to get there. And that was almost bad for Rare Breed.
Pack Money had the misconception that he wouldn't be touched, but because there's no onside type throw, that sky throw, which really only the U has perfected with Quattrell Huffman, it's still a new play for some of these guys, and all it has to do is travel past the 25-yard line.
And it's live.
But a miraculous play by Pack Money to somehow get it in his hands and avoid
Good job, Pack.
a terrible turnover. And the Rare Breed have the ball and are lucky to have the ball for that matter.
But this is what the U did against the Rare Breed the last time they played. They held Pack Money to 3 returns, 54 total yards, which is against his season average of games here on the A7FL Games of the Week, only averaging 18 yards per return in that game, which is way below his average. Yeah.
But they still lost.
And it will be 1st and 10.
Pack Money in the backfield.
And change. And they rode Pack Money in that game to the victory. The handoff to Pack Money. He'll cut up field, finds his lane, but gets to about the 20.5-yard line, and it'll be 2nd down.
Rob, you can speak to this. The zone blocking from the Rare Breed offensive line there was two or three huge holes. Yeah. And with the speed that Pack Money has, the U defense, you see their first steps are almost backwards because they have to honor.
Yeah, look at that. That's great. Great tackle by what's my favorite guy named Amir Morris. That was a great tackle.
That's Chick.
Yeah,
a corner making an open field tackle.
For a leg whip on that one.
Shout out to Booby Miles, number 14, right in the middle there.
Booby Miles.
It'll be 2nd and 4. And a handoff again to Pack. Pack finding the lane near the sideline and plows through it. And Kels Gallimore with the tackle.
Honestly, if they gave you the replay, I personally think Pack went through the wrong hole. J-Rock got completely washed to that side of the field. That left side of the field.
It looks like they're going
wide open.
No hurry up here, but the first step for all of the defensive front 5 for the U is in reaction to the speed of Pack Money. So going away from that huge back, there's no penetration from the D-line.
And this is starting to feel like a heavyweight fight where the moves are going to be big, impactful, but they're going to take time. They're finding their reach, as you said before, Rob. They're finding their rhythm. And again, the handoff to Pac Money. And this one, it's a similar strategy to what they did towards the end of the game against the Nightcrawler.
Except a little faster.
But not, and not a lot of not a lot of teams have the gumption to stand toe-to-toe with the U and just straight haymaker them to the face with run plays after run play after run play.
They're not scared.
But the Rare Breed are confident that their offensive line can handle it, and they're opening up huge holes. That's an enormous hole.
Do you start dropping more in, or is this just an okey-doke opportunity?
Well, this is the beauty of the play calling from Buck, because eventually the U is going to have to respond by either going for it with that first step for trying to get the penetration in the backfield, but the play action is going to be wide open eventually.
2nd and 7, final play of the quarter, and Mo
Ramadan.
Or you answer it on the U defense by going forward, like they said.
And Big Mo, like I said, Big Mo is going to be a big impact in this game, and because he hasn't been here in a while. He's fresh. This is fresh legs.
And that's the end of the first quarter.
Check out the penetration.
15 minutes down, 45 minutes left to go. After this huge play, how will the Baltimore Rare Breed respond? We're going to find out on the other side of this one. It's 7-6. It's the A7FL Final Four. Who's making it to the title game? We find out after this on Stadium. It is the A7FL Final Four on Stadium. It is 7-6, the Paterson U with the lead, and it's a big third down for the Baltimore Rare Breed. But let's take a look at the stats from the first quarter really quick. 44 rushing yards, that is a huge story there. But the passing yards with the U having a solid advantage. Only 69 yards, though 82 by the Rare Breed, because they've had the ball longer. They matriculated that first quarter very, very well to kind of limit the Paterson U, Big Rob Fabian, but a lot of the work has been done on the offensive line.
You already know. You know that's where I live. That's what I'm looking at 90% of the time is the line play. And the game is going to be won or lost between the trenches, between the lines.
Well, on 3rd and 11, though, that line has to stand up, but OG Buck, who's been calling a great game, keeping it real easy with the run plays, he's got to convert on this 3rd and 11.
His offensive line is blocking.
And take a look at the amount of humanity on either side of the line to throw to Marcellus Pack on the handoff and brought back to barely the line of scrimmage.
Might have been the first bad decision of the day.
Well, so eventually the Rare Breed are going to have to throw the ball and show that's an aspect of their offense that the U has to honor, because they've been so run heavy maybe on 3rd and 11 you get a little sneaky.
I don't know. Yeah,
but when you've only called one pass play, which was a great throw and a great completion,
that was
3rd and 11.
I mean, in any football ever, that's just a questionable call on 3rd and 11.
It's an interesting call. I would have done a play action there.
Right.
I would have facilitated something maybe to Marlon Anderson, and Lenny Manziel will come in now and throw the 3-on-1 throw off. We saw his heroics.
Explain the punt to these guys.
Yeah, so the 3-on-1, what would equate to a punt, you are allowed to throw it out of bounds. So usually what you see here is if the ball's in play, it's a poorly executed opportunity.
Yeah, it's definitely a bad decision. This is a chance to put the ball as
Kyle
far as
Ward
you
was
can.
back there. He's dangerous.
Yeah,
you know what?
Very dangerous.
Yeah, just throwing this one out of play.
Let's get back on defense.
But I don't know if it got the right amount of distance.
At all. I mean, I don't know what just happened on that first quarter transition. It doesn't even look like the same team.
I don't know what happened. It might be the heat starting to get to him because they ran the ball emphatically towards the end of that quarter. 3 straight plays to pack money. Marcellus Pack.
And it'll be interesting to see what the U comes out to show their diversity on offense, because I think if each of these teams, they stay too one-sided on offense, whether it's heavy pass, heavy run, that's working against what they're trying to do. The Rare Breed did a great job running the ball, except for when it was 3rd and 11. They should have passed it.
Huff is a Swiss Army knife of things, but it's his play calling.
It'll be 1st and 10. In motion, the handoff to Luck, and no luck on that one. Stopped and stifled deep behind the line, and it'll be 2nd and an uncomfortable amount.
That was either a new formation or a wrong formation.
No, it wasn't a new formation. I'm not gonna lie to you. They actually put me in that. They put him at the wing almost. They put him at the wing. And he was supposed to go up and make that block, but
well, he didn't.
He doesn't make the block, so
Freight
it looks
train's
bad.
there.
Yeah, it looks very bad.
And it will be
you actually called
down.
that play. For me, yeah.
And 13:30, 1st and 12, loss of 2 on the play. And they will just spread out the offense. The snap, the throw, caught by Kareem Moon, and Silky Smooth. Not a Silky Smooth catch, a little chunky.
Somebody's mad.
That was a huge tackle by number 6, Kenneth McIntyre.
Yeah, after he got sat down earlier, he really wants it back, huh?
His nickname is Sideshow Bob, and you were a rake, but a big stop there. And I think if Kareem Moon just kind of kept running and didn't anticipate the stiff arm, he might have gotten a few more yards on that.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, and the quick throw was forced from the obvious pressure. When you have 2 guys blocking 3, Huff had to find somebody quick, so it'll bring up 3rd down. This is where the game's going to be won and lost, guys, by the quarterbacks, because they're going to have to complete. The defenses are just too good.
The snap. Cutting up field, and Quattrell Huffin will take it, keep it, and get brought down around the 36.
I hope he got it there because Kyle Ward was wide open for the throw, which would have been a completion and a 1st down.
And I don't want you to think he didn't see that.
When he goes safe with the run play, because it is safer to just not put the ball in the air.
He wants them to still realize that Huff is a running threat.
And it'll be 1st and 10.
I know you would have done it.
2 wide receivers on the line. Dot Boss set up as a tight end.
And look for DeMar on that flare-out route.
When it looks like SJ in the backfield.
Stephen Jones, and then in motion, number 7, Kyle Ward. And in motion again is Anthony DeMar Cisco. DeMars. Coburn at the top of your screen. 3 wide receivers set. Dot Boss, an eligible receiver, but 3 on the line. The screen. Cutting up field. Big opportunity here for the Paterson U to move the ball to the 49-yard line.
And Kyle Ward has been having a very impressive season. I'm going to say this is probably his most productive season in his whole career in the A7FL.
Yeah, and he was a long time, what we would, for the BIC, like an Umar Butter Lewis type of change-up guy.
Right.
The U have really featured him this year, and he's stepped into that role quite nicely.
Yeah.
And in the variation of the full house set, the handoff. Cuts up field to Stephen Jones, and Jones will get to around the 45.
Well, the U keeps changing their backs. That's Sadiq Pitts.
Sadiq Pitts, pardon me.
Sneaking in there. Craig Pitts.
And I think that's one of the great things about the U. These guys are athletes. A lot of these guys are playing multiple positions. You can see Pitts on defense as well, on kick return.
Going to hurry up.
Yeah, it is.
Play action.
Wow.
Here comes the pressure thrown.
Everything was caught.
The
Of course,
dot boss, of course.
Boss, of course. Oh, my goodness.
Lowers the shoulder, throws the boulder, and we'll get to around the 21. It'll be 1st down.
I love Matt, man. Lowers the shoulder and throws the boulder.
And it looks like the rare breed will call a timeout.
And it's so funny.
It's the
everyone
play
watching
action.
at home
Everyone's caught.
is constantly wondering how Dot Boss is that wide open every single time
That's
he's up in
how.
the field. But when you have a list of playmakers as long as the U do, there's only so many guys you can cover. They go for the play action, and then he's blocking, then he lets his guy go, and then he just has a nice little stroll. Credit to the tackle here, because that's a lot of man to bring down in the open field.
And that also shows how much they respect the
Right.
Patterson U run game, especially
They have
when
to
you have
respect it.
Yeah, and not only that, there was
hard
Jakari Mims was screaming downfield, probably had to get double covered by the safety in the corner that was
But
on him.
if people haven't paid attention yet, Huff will not hit those strikes until he needs to. They're going to stay open for the rest of the game. And when he needs that player to make that play, he's going to throw it.
Well, and when you have 7 people and you have to cover a man going 60 yards downfield with
Right.
2 on a bracket coverage above and underneath, it's no wonder that a 6'5", 6'6", 270-pound target is wide open with not within
no one sees him, right?
We'll call that the silver, teal, and purple jersey within 15 yards of him. So, we talk about OG Buck's play calling this year, probably puts him in the MVP conversation.
Right.
He's a lot of times he's copying what he's seen Huff do earlier on.
I mean, I can't
First and 10.
argue that.
First and 10 again, throws a screen, and it's the variation of the Baltimore special caught at the one. Oh,
Intercepted.
They will show you the
Intercepted.
world in shining, shimmering jerseys. Slip slides, tries to stay up, keeps the ball, and brought down.
Hold through that.
We're all
number
asking
one.
exactly what happened on that play because it was such a perfect pass to the rare breed. It was like a designed interception.
Yeah.
And there's a flag on the play, and also those silver jerseys in the right light.
Look
Roughing
white.
the passer on defense, so that interception
I'm gonna have
might
to
be
see this
brought
replay.
back. And that was number 26, Jamal Johnson. You see him on screen.
Everybody wants to run
And,
a trick play until
Yeah,
you
until it-
trick yourself. Because if you have an MVP caliber quarterback,
and some
as we get
and
we get some
playoff
things.
energy. That one, I believe, was thrown. Oh,
There's not
beautiful.
one man.
There's 4 guys over there.
That was Johnson with the catch.
There was not one man in a white jersey near
yeah.
there.
And that was number 1, Kareem Williams, a.k.a. Prince Reem.
Yeah, that ain't it, Prince.
Yeah, that's
You could have
peasant
just
stuff
taken
right there.
off.
And
Huff was asking for
calling
the ball back.
And had
Oh,
Pat
man.
Coburn wide open
Wide
in the
open,
end
yeah.
zone.
I'm
But
not-
roughing the passer call will probably bring this one back.
Oh, my. Huff took it down right there.
Is the roughing the passer on Huff or
No, Huff was standing
or the
up.
second, the receiver?
Well,
'Cause once
Reem was the one who made the tackle. But it's
This is-
playoff energy. You see a lot of emphatic conversation. We're going to take a brief timeout as the referees decide this one on the
lot
other
of
side
Top
of this
Gun Maverick
break.
reviews going on in that
We'll
huddle.
see if the rare breed have the ball or the U will try to get back on the board. It's 7-6 to U with a precarious lead. It's the A7FL Final Four right here on Stadium.
Takes this league fucking serious. Yo, you gotta keep our head up, bro. This league will open up. Keep our head up, bro. You like soft ice cream. Keep hitting these niggas, bro. Offense or defense. Let's go, man. Play ball. You gotta play ball. You don't have no plays to give up. Hey, Beasley, you good? Watch the play. They leaking out. They leaking out. Trey, that's your man, Trey. Go get him, Trey. Shoot straight to him. Hey! Good shit, Trey. Good shit. God is there. God is there, Trey. Hey, Kenny. Good shit, baby. Good shit. Already, yo, finish that tap.
It's the A7FL Final Four 2022. The action is hot and heavy. We're back here on Stadium.
Somebody said the wrong thing about Tom Cruise's performance, and and Hardbody is really saying that, like, look, man.
Top Gun was amazing.
And we are, we had a little bit of confusion during the break.
Ryan Shamar's talking about now how
They're trying to
Disney
figure out
Plus
the
has
best
the Multiverse of Madness, and he was watching that last night.
best place to get coffee in town. And I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Corey Hammond and Big Rob Fabian. And guys, it has been a the energy between both of these teams. They know it's win or go home.
Right.
And on the other side of this is a shot at the A7FL championship. We haven't seen anybody that's not the Paterson U hold up the A7FL championship since 2019.
It's been a long time.
And it's been a long time since we've seen a Baltimore team win the championship, 2018.
Right.
And it was the Gators who we'll see at 4 o'clock here
And
on Stadium.
no team has ever gone 1, 2, 3 in a row.
No.
And that's what the U's after.
And they are looking
19,
to build
20,
the trilogy.
21.
Well,
19,
20.
4.
No, it'd be 3 because
Because
they
we're
lost
talking
in
about the Salas
2019.
tournament.
Yeah.
We're talking about
Well, okay, Salas tournament. Nobody counts.
I
the Salas.
include the
making
Salas
their,
tournament.
But
They
making their
don't.
4th A7FL championship game, no matter how you slice it, is a big thing for them, and it's a big
Right.
chance to prove that they are the dynasty, the cornerstone team of the A7FL. And right now, the Baltimore Rare Breed on defense have been doing a good job trying to slow down, especially on this drive.
They've done
the
great.
offense.
They've done great.
And the Rare Breed were built for this game. Final 4 against the U, defending champions. In week 4, they were very excited to finally break the streak from the U.
Right.
But the Cobras did not combine with the best parts of the Vikings, formerly the Kings. Got you. And the Army to play the Gators and win the Maryland championship.
Maryland,
they were created specifically for this moment, and so far, guys,
They're living up to that creation.
they're performing as would be expected of a Final Four team that comes in via destiny
Right.
off of 2 weeks ago in the game of the year.
And I'm not surprised at all.
3rd and 10.
The Rare Breed are very impressive this year.
All placed on the 9-yard line.
But it's their defense that's going to have to step up right now against maybe the GOAT of quarterbacks in this league.
And it'd be Pat Coburn at the bottom of your screen, Kyle Ward, pardon me, at the top. See hard body Marcus McKinney on the line. And the dot boss. You got to wonder if both of them are going to split off here. Their snap. And Quantrell
He's just going
Huffin.
to walk it in. He's just gonna walk-
Slip slides and a little bit of a
That's a flag. Yeah, that's nasty work.
some
you don't,
recompense on
yeah,
that.
that's nasty work. You don't do that.
That's the type of play you expect from Freight Train, just not as illegal.
Right.
He's not going to ever, 1990s basketball. He's not going to let you ever get that free layup without a hard foul. But hard foul going to be added on to that 3-on-1.
And that's what it is. You got to remember, Huff is just as dangerous with his arm as he is with his legs. Deceptive speed. You think the guy's a lot slower than he is. He has moves. He has vision. He can run it in at any time. And he chooses not to.
And once a quarterback with that type of speed breaks contained with the wide receivers that you have to honor.
And we'll see if this
Tough
is
spot for the
We'll
defense.
see what the call is. Unnecessary roughness on the defense. It looks like the touchdown will stand. Touchdown Paterson.
And I have a
now
rule.
13-6.
I have a rule of thumb for any team that's playing against the U. I always say this: the U is going to score. It's about how you can slow them down. If you can keep the U 1 score a quarter, you have a chance to win that game.
And it'll be interesting to see what the U does here, because this is where these extra points come into real big.
Facts.
Right now, Paterson U is up 7 points. If they get 2, then they're up by 2 full scores.
Yeah, that's
So they're going
tough.
for it from the 1, but hey, I just put it out there for you, Ryan Shamar. You better go talk to Moon right now and back him up.
And it will be an opportunity here from the 5-yard line.
But as we see with the conversion offense for the U, Kareem Moon is usually given this role. He does have a lot of play calls that he's comfortable from the 5. So if they're going to go with what has won them championships already,
Right.
who am I to disagree?
And they're 1 for 1 on conversions today.
What an
The
amazing
snap,
play.
The throw, a pop fly, and that one will go out of play. But it's still a huge lead here, a 7-point lead for the Paterson U, up 13-6.
If you're going to go to jump ball with the jump man, maybe you go back from the 10. I don't know why I'm talking this voice, but you go back to the 10, you have more yards for that jump ball.
Right,
Maybe you have a little bit more room. I don't know. Maybe that. I hope that doesn't come out back to
Joel
haunt them.
looked back. It looked like a miscommunication on the throw and the actual route he's supposed to run. I don't know. It looked like a little brain fart. This voice, that
It
voice
sounded
is
like
good.
you were auditioning to be Jerry Seinfeld's doppelganger. That make me George or...
What does that make Rob? Kramer.
I don't think
Yeah.
I'm in the show. I don't
No,
remember seeing.
Kramer was once famous for saying a specific word that you would be able to use, I think, right?
13-6,
Where's the ice
your
cream truck?
score. And you see the Paterson U offense and defense on the sideline. They have to have a lot of positive energy heading into this
But
game.
you can't get comfortable because the Rare Breed have been here before. They just came from a game where about 40 seconds before it was over, everybody thought it was over.
But they weren't. But the rare breed weren't able to stifle Marcellus Pack, especially when it counted. And so far, the Paterson U have found a way to completely slow them
But
down.
OG Buck got away with a couple of things in last week's and 2 weeks ago's game. He's going to have to win this game with his arm.
And this one, a pop fly, and that one will go out of play and a touchback.
One way to neutralize Pack money is to throw it into the next county.
Well, respectfully,
we're in Ocean County right now. That's going to be the Atlantic Highlands, I think it'll land.
They'll neutralize Pack money on the return. Pack will, like when they neutralize him on the return, he comes back full steam on offense and ready to go on defense.
And it will be 1st and 10, 8:47 after the dead ball play. And an opportunity here for Raheem Chaney, a.k.a. OG Buck, to make something happen with a lot of time left on the clock. But they burned one timeout. MDU get the ball at half.
That formation and that lineup right there is going to stress out a lot of scales. So they might
take him
go
down
back
to the Bon Jovi rest stop to get him weighed.
They might exactly. They might. Wow, that's a great reference. They might be coming back out with that heavy run.
And that's
Marcellus
okay.
Pack again
Scheme.
set up to the right of the quarterback. So it might be the same drive that we saw a lot from them 2 weeks ago. And the play action rolls out to his right. This OG Buck. Chaney in trouble and pushed out a play and will lose a yard.
That was just great pressure from the U.
But it also looked like a little bit of a miscommunication. I don't know if that was the exact design play because I didn't see enough guys running in routes. And if that's your formation,
they look covered.
But if that's your formation and your best option in the pass game is the guy you're play action pitching to, and you're not even going to block that edge, that to me looked like a miscommunication. So it's going to be 2nd and 13. Buck was able to get out of bounds. Starting to break down on this scheme that they got where they're going run heavy. They're going to have to change it up if they're going to beat this U defense. It seems like they're standing up to the run now.
But Anthony D is checking in as well, a.k.a. Aunt Mo, and he was a big option for them last week.
The rare breed need to get back into that offense where they're sending Pack money from side to side, making the youth think about Pack money as a horizontal threat, and then finding guys like Aunt Mo down the field.
3 wide receivers set. The play action. Rolls out to his right. Buck throws across the field, and great defense there from the Paterson U, getting a stop on 2nd down. It'll be 3rd and 13.
The problem with rare breed is if they're adopting a U style of football, they're actually playing the U, who understand the offense very well. And right now, it just looks like they're covering everything the right way. They've made the adjustments to see the play style. That's a great defensive play.
And physically, Buck does everything he needs to do there, but the decision to stretch out on that rollout, he ran right into 2 defenders covering and making the play a lot harder. Now Aunt Mo has to make that catch.
Dion made a great defensive play.
Like if you look here, he's rolling out of his protection. There's a pocket in there, and he's
look at the punch
escaping
out. He punches it out.
And it's a well-placed ball. So
it is. It's a well-placed ball.
You can't complain when the ball's in the receiver's
That's a great play by
hands.
the defender. And again, a guy like Aunt Mo, that's why it's hard for me to call him elite, because he doesn't make that catch.
Timeout called by the U. Now both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. 3rd and 13. And we saw number 007 make his way, David Watson, a cornerback / wide receiver, make his way onto the field as OG Buck looking to spread out the offense here on 3rd down. And inside territory they don't want to be in. They are on the wrong side of the 50-yard line.
100%.
And that first drive from the rare breed, they came out with a lot of attitude, a lot of strength, and they were bringing it to the U. Well, the U is settled in, and now they're playing U defense. They're forcing you into long 3rd downs, and then they're going to bring in their quick, speedy pass rushers to put pressure on your quarterback and make you have to beat them with a pinpoint pass down the field.
Right.
And with 6:32 after the timeout, time will continue to run down. Spread out, play action, throw the screen, caught.
That's that rocket screen. Yeah. Great
pushing
play
up
call.
field, and we'll run out of bounds and get the first down.
And that's what you asked them to do. Move them left and right.
They won the game in week 4 because the U had to honor every single motion from Pack Money. And although Pack Money on the stat line did not necessarily get the 100 yards rushing or the 100 yards receiving, that effect that he has on a defense opens up holes for that rocket screen right there, which gets the easy first down and an easy completion. And that's really what you want to give Buck as he gets more warm into this game, because finding those pinpoint passes down the field is not only tough, it's going to lead to potential mistakes.
Anthony Diaz, who got that reception, only had 2 catches last week, 2 weeks ago, against the rare breed, but for 90 yards.
Yeah, one of them was a great touchdown.
And it will be 1st and 10, and there's a handoff, and there's a flag, probably false start. We saw a few of those flags last 2 weeks ago. It just feels like last week since I saw you guys. That's why.
It does.
Happy belated Father's Day to you both.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
But we'll get the flag here, and it looks like Baltimore may take a walk back. And, it is false. Oh, offsides on the defense.
Wow, that's costly.
And that is a big penalty.
Wow.
The first big penalty of the afternoon for the U.
Well, when you bring the speed from Pac Money horizontally, what you're forcing the defensive line to do to even make an impact on a play like that jet sweep is to have that quick first step.
And
so
to the side pack
it's
is
forcing them to anticipate when the snap is and brings up the penalty. So first and 5 is where you want to be against the U, not third and 13.
Most certainly. And the last time these two teams played, the Paterson U defense got 2 sacks and an interception. Haven't seen that yet, but some effective pressure. It'll be first and 5, OG Buck. Calls for the man in motion. Play action.
Sending Pack left
Buck
and right.
will
and
throw
look who's wide
across
open.
field to Marcellus Pack.
And this is Jets.
Slip,
Bye,
slide.
bye. Can he get him?
Oh, he gets him.
That's Kyle Ward. I
Kyle.
forgot. Kyle, I apologize. I forgot how fast you were.
Kyle Ward's number being called a lot this afternoon on both sides of the ball and stopping again.
Wow,
A Baltimore
Kyle is
Ravens
fast.
touchdown.
What's the flag?
Oh.
We got a flag on the play. Could possibly be holding.
Tropical fruit situation as pineapples fall.
And there's the throw and a beautiful play. But it
That's
could.
the hold right
that's
there.
the hold.
It's going to be a first down based on where the held take place. It'll be 10 yards from there. But Tony toe tap.
And he's already
Better with his footwork than his handwork right there.
Wow, Kyle Ward is fast.
denying them.
That's why he's been featured more on offense, too.
I see that.
And that's one of those things where Tony Totap is so grateful that that wasn't a touchdown.
Right, because he would have been he'd have been just as mad as he was earlier.
But it will be first and goal, and there you see number 58. That is Mark John commiserating with the official.
Hey, if it's not broken,
don't
fix
don't
it?
Fix it.
Send
You're
Pac Money
right.
side to side. Make the U
Honestly,
react to that. And when they
you're right.
didn't react to it, they didn't cover him, and then they had to rush and scramble back into their zone coverage. Yep.
This whole drive, they've been doing what you said.
Except for when they struggled on the
Maybe
first two
they
plays to bring up
timeout
13.
call by the
Right.
U. The U burning another timeout
That's
here.
very interesting. 4:44.
It just shows the respect that the U have for this rare breed team. A lot of times the U, they're just ready to just line up and play. Now that they see what's going on with the way that the rare breed is calling offense, it's almost like a basketball momentum timeout. Hey, hold up, let's take a timeout and talk about it.
Guys out real quick.
Because they need to come up with a plan for that, because they can't send one guy back and forth covering that, because it's not going to be effective. And if they end up putting speedier edge rushers on the defensive line, then the rare breed's going to go right back to that heavy run game.
And it will be first and 10 after the timeout. And you would think after a penalty like that the U's defense would be ready for anything, but that man in motion play that you've been calling out, Corey, has been a huge, huge killer for this Paterson U defense, an older defense, going up against a lot of speedsters, a lot of young talent.
Veterans on that defense.
Well, and the veterans are playing more with their experience than their athleticism, and some of the more athletic guys are the youthful guys that are in a different boat. So,
and maybe that will work in the U's favor, being able to set themselves up to take those penalties, to figure out crafty ways to get some of those speedsters like Tony Totap to get caught in what is basically a speed trap.
Right.
And it will be first and 10. Ball placed on the 45-yard line after the penalty. The toss, and that one's over to number 13, trying to make something happen.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Stopped and stifled.
I don't like it. Yeah.
hey, they went with a reverse because the attention to Pac Money, but the thing is that Pac Money is the guy you want on the reverse, because that change of direction and you take advantage of it. Get it back into the hands of more of like a zone type runner.
The U is keeping contained on all fronts. I don't think plays like that are even smart to call. Just look at the first step is outside. There, he's already there. He's already there.
And we talk about the experience.
Look at that.
That's Air Jamaica playing is the man who had to cheat. And that's not a guy who's going to be fooled by.
And then to get hit by Isaac. Isaac tackles you with his chest and every muscle in his upper body. It's going to hurt.
And that neon yellow head as well.
And it'll be second and 10. No
listen,
gain on that last play. You
guys,
see Deus at the top of your screen.
A lime green shiesty in 90-degree weather is crazy.
That's a commitment right there.
That is a love for the game. And now OG Buck
hold on.
trying to make a miss. The throw
He
caught.
side-armed it to Pack. Wow.
And gets him to the 30-yard line. Another great catch by Marcellus Pack, who has been having to carry this offense today.
And
Go ahead.
This first half has been dominated by the playmakers and the big names, and these guys are stepping up to the challenge in the Final Four. I think in the second half it's going to have to be those other guys that step up. But this is a great awareness because the amount of time that he has before Isaac kills him, this is a slowed down replay.
That's definitely the flag.
The roughing the passer? Come on, that's just football.
I think so. Which is costly for the U right now.
Those are two huge costly penalties. One for the rare breed.
Oh, I'll say
two
that.
for the U. Pardon me. Two for the U on this drive. One for the rare breed.
As a quarterback that takes pride in standing in there, they just took an opportunity away from Buck to just be a tough guy.
It's like drawing to charge in basketball. It's easy money. It's gonna move the ball to
and
the
it's
15-yard
shameful.
line. Yes.
They should have declined the penalty. It was a perfect pass.
Oh my God.
I'll die on that hill. I'll die on that
I
hill.
know you will.
I argue with rough. Oh, it's not the stat thing. It's when you get that call. Now the defensive line is just trying to kill you more.
Right.
You decline the penalty there when you get the yards. No, we're good.
But it will be 1st and 10. The ball on the 15-yard line. And a whole neighborhood for Big Maury Thomas.
Yeah, bro, I don't know why you do that.
Well, the rare breed, when they line up against 9 out of 10 teams in this league, they're going to be the bigger team. But guess what?
Not against this team. You see who just hit him?
Not against Booby Miles.
Booby Miles just stuffed that guy.
The long-haul trucker's worth of beef on the defensive line. 2:35 left to play in the first half. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond from the historic Asbury Park Stadium in Asbury Park, New Jersey, former spring training home of the New York Yankees, playing home to our Final Four and championship game. 2nd and 8 after the slight gain from Omari Thomas. Pack under center and looking to see the entire city of Paterson come at his head, but he will go
Buck.
right on through.
Okay, Buck.
And will Act 3 Michael Jordan in Space Jam extend his arms to get the extra yardage, and it'll be 3rd down.
My eyes just widen seeing a quarterback that's 170 pounds just going to the teeth of that defense.
Line. Yeah, that's definitely he's giving you that toughness you just spoke about. He looks tough right now.
And at the 2-minute warning, it will be the Baltimore rare breed knocking on the door, trying to tie this one. They're down 7. Can they get in the end zone twice? We'll find out on the other side of this one. It's the A7FL Final Four. For the Paterson U, they're going to need to call on their defense, and why not do it with unlimited data with 4 lines for just under $100 a month from Cricket Wireless Cricket 5G. Cricket 5G is the official A7FL mobile phone and A7FL Cincinnati mobile phone provider. Thank you to Cricket 5G for reaching out and being with us here in the A7FL. At the 2-minute warning, the Baltimore rare breed down 13-6, looking to knock on the door. They will need to get into the end zone and get at least a 1-point conversion here. They have been unable to get into the end zone on their last couple of drives, but right now banging on the door, Corey Hammond.
And top of the line there, number 00, Beefy is one of their playmakers at tight end. They might go play action up top.
No, he's running it up the gut.
Ball almost knocked down a huge tackle by number 14.
Listen, OG Booby Miles. If you want to win, let Booby spin. I'm just saying, I don't know why Buck is doing that right there. I don't see it. Unless he's setting up for the Maryland special that close to the end zone is unnecessary.
The type of quarterback dive that is you're assuming that your offensive line is going to dominate. Well, he completely misses the block there.
No.
And that's my guy Beefy, who is, more of a tight end, not a left guard.
So now
but it'll be 4th and 3.
So what are we looking
One of
at?
the bigger
Play action.
I mean, you have to. I think you have to call a pass play because as we've seen
And they
Buck
added
can
Tony
run the
Toe
ball.
Tap in there.
When you call like a rollout type of pass play, you have the run option there for the quarterback to take advantage of.
Right.
But when you commit to just a quarterback dive, what you're saying is that your offensive line is going to dominate, and it didn't.
Snap. And OG Buck, Raheem Chaney in trouble. The throw and out of reach of Anthony Diaz, and it'll be a turnover. Oh, it'll be 4th down, pardon me.
I'm very confused to Buck's play.
Some
play
extracurricular
calling right
activity on the field, and it might be another costly penalty for either of these two teams as that playoff energy, you can feel it on the field. It is hot out here today in Asbury Park, and the tempers are flaring like the temperature.
Yeah, and on 4th and 3, the rare breed, they call a pass play, but that quick pressure on the inside puts Buck into retreat mode and scramble mode, and he has to throw that sidearm pass just to get it off because it's 4th down. You can't take the sack. Just out of the reach of Ant Mo. So that's a huge win from the Paterson U defense, and for fans a little bit new to our league, that's one of the big, huge differences is that the rare breed, they dominated that whole drive between the 20s, I say. But once they get into scoring position, they don't get that free shot at 3 with the kicker. You have to punch it in with a play, a scoring play, a football play. And that gave the U defense the opportunity to keep this a 7-point game in favor.
And it feels like the bigger the line is on either side. Once you're inside the 10-yard line, the bigger the line, the better option you have of getting to where you want to go.
But the rare breed come with a huge offensive line. They've been dedicated all day to trying to own the trenches with their blocking. And when it came down to it on 3rd down, they called a simple quarterback dive where they were assuming maybe one of their running backs was going to pick up a block.
But that's the problem. They're not taking advantage of the plays that they can make. That is a silly call for 3rd down. That's 2 bad 3rd down plays that are putting them in a very
at a certain point
bad position right now.
Based on the play calling, when you keep going, run, it's almost what is the confidence you have in your ability to complete those passes when it's needed.
And it will be a turnover on down, so it'll be 1st and 10.
Now, we talked about on the coin toss, right? 59 seconds, 1 timeout.
And they get the ball at half.
This is dangerous.
If they score twice, not only they're going to be up by 7, they might be up by 21 real quick.
And the 3 wide receivers set. Play action. Throws with a beautiful throw.
Kyle Ward
again. Kyle Ward
God.
Still standing. Better than he's ever been. Feeling like a real survivor. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Paterson.
Just like
up
that.
by 20.
Just like that. And I told you guys earlier that these guys can score fast. I told you that's going to be open all game. And there it is. 1 strike. 59 seconds to 47.
And that's the U in a nutshell. In one play, we talk about how they can score quick. Underhand throw from Huff with pressure in his face.
And
what did the 5 fingers say to the face to Nani Forrester?
Smack!
And then the sideline is celebrating just as hard as Craig Pitts commits the ultimate penalty by coming onto the field. If this was the NBA, there would be a lawsuit.
Oh, man.
No malice in this palace. 19-6 now.
But just as quick as things can turn, as we saw 2 weeks ago for the rare breed in their favor, right?
Game's not over.
It looks like they're calling this one back.
20 seconds ago, the rare breed had an opportunity to tie this game, and now depending on what the call is,
and
20 seconds of real time later.
And I want them to pinpoint what I'm saying here. It's 2 bonehead 3rd down plays that put them in this very position. 2.
And look, this is just magical.
Excuse me, sir. Unhand me.
And we ask a lot of questions about that speed of Kyle Ward. Well,
he's
today.
Fast. He is fast.
Kyle Ward.
What are you doing?
One of the 14 receivers to catch a ball from Quattrell Huffman this year, and when it counted, they got inside the end zone. The touchdown will stand.
And we've talked about it multiple times today. Kyle Ward has become the focal point of this U offense, and you see exactly why there on the touchdown.
They'll go for 1 here from the 10. Huff throws, caught it, and that one will be brought down and stopped. And Ant Mo will get a flag, but he is not happy, and he has every right to be flummoxed.
I wouldn't be happy either. They get the ball back with 47 seconds left. They're not going to be able to score that quick.
And you're taking the words right out of Ant Mo's mouth. I heard him mouth the word flummoxed, and when he goes for the interception there, he's just wishing that this was on offense. He had that opportunity in the end zone earlier.
Gosh, darn it, I'm flummoxed.
Dag nabbit, I'm flabbergasted. The falderall here is immense.
Well, one thing the U does do is when they score in 3 seconds, 3.5 seconds, and a guy's running 70 yards in 3.5 seconds, that's really quick for a human being. If 47 seconds on the clock should be enough time for the rare breed to at least try.
Should be.
But based on their play calling, guys, do you think that they even come out with a spread formation?
I think you have to go for the Maryland special here.
But I also think maybe if
Too
you're
early.
You're kind of rolling the dice here with 2 timeouts. Whole top diamond, bottom rose gold. Lenny Manziel might come in as the quarterback.
I mean, let's just be honest. They need to score here. They definitely need to score here. I'm not going to discredit OG Buck's mind just because he made 2 mistakes. I still think he can do it.
But is this right here the best prevention for the Paterson U on these scoring drives to limit any chance of a return?
1,000%.
Because they're getting them at the 20-yard line. They're having to make them work on much longer spaces. They're trying to make them operate at a level that, for most of the season, they don't have to.
And we talk about it all the time. The 3-on-1 is a great opportunity for the return team. But the most dangerous part about it is it can change the course of a game without any time coming off the clock.
That's so
if they scored a 3-on-1 touchdown, it'll still be 47 seconds left.
Right.
And you get the ball.
You get the ball back. And then you can call timeouts and get the ball back maybe even. Now, I don't think that's realistic in this specific matchup. But with 47 seconds left, these 2 minutes can stretch out when those 3-on-1s.
Corey, it can happen.
I mean, it can happen.
Things happen, especially against 2 elite teams. It's the Final Four. These guys are built for this kind of stuff. This can happen.
But what the U wants is the ball back. So
of course.
And they will have the opportunity to get the ball back. 47 seconds, and after the under 2 minutes, and a flag on the play. Sideline warning.
That was a warning to you at home trying to get in the bathroom break or go to beer run. Just wait a couple more minutes. You might miss something.
If you're watching this on a device that's not mobile, stay right where you are. And even if you're on a mobile device,
that's that sideline warning.
Don't get out of the good Wi-Fi zone. Make sure, and if you got unlimited data from Cricket 5G, just utilize it to the best of your ability. Spread offense. OG Buck off the snap, the throw, caught, and keeps it going.
Chill out, Duke.
That is a great tackle, I promise you. Because if Pack gets loose, you're in trouble. And those New Jerseys ripped already. Pack should have known.
Antoine Wilson with the tackle, a.k.a. Chill Out Duke, and a timeout called. The rare breed will burn their second timeout. Called the first timeout of the game with a lot of time left in the quarter, but let's see again on the replay.
Yeah, this rocket screen is one of their go-to plays. Easy pitch and catch, but great,
Duke
absolutely great defensive play by a defensive tackle playing in the middle of the field, making a play outside of the hash all the way 10 yards up the sideline, preventing maybe not just a big gain, but that could have been a touchdown.
Once Pat gets loose, I mean, I didn't see if Kyle Ward was on the field because apparently that's the only person that can stop him stride for stride. But if Pat gets loose, he's dangerous.
Kyle Ward needs a nickname today because he's earned it this year.
I don't know. Kyle's just, I don't know.
The Warden?
The Warden.
Because he locks everybody down?
Rick James.
What
did the 5 fingers say to the face?
Unity.
Unity.
2nd and 1. The snap. Flag on the play.
It's a pre-play.
Throw. Oh, and out of the way. And getting hit with the total elimination. And another flag on the play. Might have caught the shoulder right in the midsection. A flag on the defense. And it will be a flag possibly at the spot of the offsides.
Somebody forgot his
It'll be a 5-yard penalty and caught both the receiver and the defender.
So it looked like a clean hit because of when it occurred. When Antmo goes up for it, both the defender and the receiver are pretty much looking at the ball, and we'll see the replay in a couple of seconds potentially. But it looked like it may be
and a big.
I hope
that's
he's all
something
right.
you never want to see.
Lower abdomen.
We're gonna take a timeout here. Let's see the replay. And
it's a bang-bang play because he's making contact as the ball's going in there, so it's not a dirty play. It's not the wrong play. I don't even think it's a penalty, but where he was hit, it's either he got hit in the wrong place or maybe the wind knocked out of him. Hopefully it's not a big one.
And we'll be back in just a moment once we have a little bit of time to let these guys get some breath. It's 2nd and 1 when we return, 19-6. The U in the lead. Rare breed with the ball. We'll be back in a minute. It's the A7FL playoffs on Stadium. It's the A7FL Final Four here on Stadium. The Paterson U in the lead over the Baltimore Rare Breed. Your score 19-6, and it will be 1st and 10 after the offsides penalty. Maryland special, and now he'll just go right downtown. Plows through, stays standing, will get to the 49, and that is number 007, David Watson.
Yeah, he's a former quarterback. They used to call him 187, and he would come in with that triple number.
Right.
They go for the double pass look.
My man ran so hard his shoe came off.
They go for the double pass look, and it wasn't a smart play for him to try to get that extra 2 yardage. If he got out of bounds, they'd still have the timeout, which is even more valuable here. So maybe that's the reason he's a wide receiver and not the starting quarterback for the Rare Breed anymore. But
again, I know you guys. Sometimes guys think we're not calling it fair, but these are some silly mistakes being made by Rare Breed, and I think they're very uncharacteristic
Lenny Manziel setting.
Right, to the way they played all year. This is not how Rare Breed played all year.
But the added pressure of the playoffs, you guys have been there before.
Pay attention.
Lenny Manziel in the bottom of your screen.
Manziel's live.
He is out of frame right now.
He's live, though. He's number 7.
Top dominant in the bottom row go.
In motion is Pac Money. The throw over the middle, intercepted!
Wow. Interception.
What a play!
That's Amir Chick Morris.
That's Chick with the one-hand INT.
Another one-handed catch by Amir Morris. You saw it on our IG, and you see it again. Amir Morris with 8 seconds now left to play in the half.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is plenty of time for the U to score again. I just don't want you to think.
And we want to reiterate, they get the ball at half. There's a lot of football left.
Yeah, I miscalculated. I said they might be up at 21 if they score here and at the half. Then that's going to be 28 up.
That's nasty.
You know, what worked against the Florida team, bringing in the 2 quarterbacks, going double pass is nice. That's an elite level interception. And for those guys that we're talking like the YouTube, like the type of athlete we have, that Amir Chick Morris
I would love to see
is a perfect example of the level of football talent that we see in the A7FL. That's not an easy interception from any human being.
And if there's a destroying watching or urinating tree who's a YouTuber, or 5 Points Vids who joined us on
Shouts to 5 Points, man.
Who joined us, yes, shout out to him, who joined us on Twitter Spaces the other night.
Let me just say, one of the most unfortunate names I've ever heard in my life is Urinating Tree.
That's his actual YouTube name, Urinating Tree.
And that's the interesting thing about this. If you're watching this right now and you're a YouTuber and you think that you can match the energy, the passion of these players, let alone their skills, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see y'all hop back out on the field. Corey, you're still an active player, but Big Rob coming out of retirement.
Maybe.
And maybe doing the cha-cha slide
Hey, they said
on
Vegas.
head.
The guy on the Twitter Spaces thing we did Friday night, he was talking about Vegas, and YouTube, YouTube money. If they're paying.
YouTube money is different, yeah. I mean, if you can get a guy like Destroying to come out here and put a team together, or the FaZe Clan or the AMP
And just
guys,
to be clear, we're not talking about a friendly flag
no, we're
game
talking
either,
full
because
contact A7FL.
Because the A7FL differentiates itself because the type of guy that you need on the field to do these athletic things also has to accept the fact that people are going to come at him live, no pads.
And when you take a look at let's get focus on the game at hand here. The Paterson U, some emphatic defense, huge interception here. Is it because the U are at full strength, or the Rare Breed are just so passionate and so focused on getting the win that they have?
One of the things that separates those Patriot Dynasty guys is the plays that you make when it counts the most. And inside 2 minutes, even though the game's been close, they're making the plays. They're making the plays.
Wow,
and
Mims with the catch and then out of bounds with enough time to really put another score up.
And a timeout.
This is ridiculous.
Jakari Mims just streaks down on an easy fade route, and when you're you're looking at everything on the field, this is just perfect football. And this is man-on-man, just straight up on Pack.
That's Pack. So we're saying this guy has a step on Pack.
And it could be the heat that's starting to affect him. It could be just the overall.
And the hurry up of the U was talking about.
Game.
Situational football is the key. Now, those mistakes we were talking about, it's not the mistakes in the athleticism or the strength of the Rare Breed. On 3rd and 5, they call what we think is a silly play call.
They're mistakes.
007 Watson doesn't go out of bounds.
Another mistake.
They're calling trick play.
And the U burning their last time out here.
And the U, they've executed on the 3rd downs. They've executed on the 4th down. When they have the opportunity for the interception, they get the ball back. And they call a fade route, which is they call a fade route here with clock ticking down, even though they had the one timeout. It's a sideline route that if it goes out of bounds, clock stops. And even if you catch the ball and don't score, you can go out of bounds and still have another shot at it.
With all that being said, it's
football.
still play calling. And again,
well, and it's
when
situations.
you have Buck making 3 solid mistakes on third downs,
but
give
guys,
credit.
Play calling.
Let's look at it like this. There's a whole other half of football to play, and we've seen the rare breed
Very true.
get shut down for basically an entire half, but still find a way when it counted to get the win. And if they can get a huge stop here, and they can get a huge stop at the start of the second half, this game's going to get a lot closer, a lot quicker. And it will be 1st and goal after the huge catch. And it will be.
This is the last play of the half.
Last play of the half.
Let's see what he calls here.
DMAR at the top of your screen.
A handoff. The play action to throw off the hands and a heads-up defensive play.
And there's Watson right there.
You call it.
Watson again.
You call it. He just saved some embarrassment. That touchdown there would have been nasty work.
And
a lot to come back from.
And a lot of times you throw the fade there. They go with the slant, and the slant is great because it was open, but Huff has to throw it in front of DMAR, and when it's behind, gives the defender an opportunity, and we got halftime, guys.
And at the end of the first half, the Paterson U striking hard. But Watson striking here on defense. When we return, it'll be halftime. We'll show you how we got to the score and how the stats piled up as we head into our first half of play. We end there. We head into the second half. It's 19-6. The Paterson U in the lead. It's the A7FL Final Four. Stay right where you are here on Stadium.
How you feel by now?
(19-6) your score. It is the A7FL Final Four on Stadium. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond. And this first half, not the way the Baltimore Rare Breed wanted it to go in the least bit. Down 19-6, started the game with the ball, and a big problem for the Baltimore Rare Breed was the inefficiency of Marcellus Pack because of the arm of Quattrell Huff. And let's take a look at some of the first half stats and see how this one measured out. We take a look here, Rob. When we look at these stats, we're going to see a big problem, and you can see it right there. Passing yards, 210 yards so far today from the Paterson U, 23 rush yards. So in terms of the running game, Baltimore's been able to get the U defense off balance, but running Marcellus Pack on what felt like 5 different plays was a huge problem, because it was the same issue they ran into with the Rare Breed last week. And we were talking in the break, the U defense able to stop OG Buck, but might not have been able to handle a player like Mark Bagway. And we see here only 77 pass yards thrown by Baltimore in the first half.
Well, on those 77 pass yards, I think 30 or so came on that fourth down play action conversion on the first drive. And then a lot of those are on rocket screens later on. So OG Buck not able to find receivers downfield, I think, is the story of the first half for the Baltimore Rare Breed offense. But and I don't want to go back to my point over and over again. When the Rare Breeds send pack money in motion from side to side, their offense has been effective against the used defense.
No, you're
Every
right.
single other opportunity that they
right.
have, they've struggled and they haven't been able to get anything that they really wanted. All 62 of those yards basically coming on run plays that either featured pack money or used him as a decoy. And you look at the rush stats for the Paterson U, even though they only have 23, if you looked at the play calling, they're calling enough run plays,
right,
so that the Rare Breed have to honor the run, and they are committing men to stop it. But those 210 pass yards are from amazing underhand throws from Huff finding open receivers, and specifically Kyle Ward breaking the game open with that really long touchdown and that 5-finger slap to the face.
And it's just the we've been here before for the Paterson youth, having that ability. And when we return here on the A7FL Final Four, we'll take a look at the highlights and some of the great quarterback play from Quattro Huffin. But Rob,
situational football so far, Paterson has made all of the right moves, and the Rare Breed have made a lot of mistakes in those situations.
Right. And Rob, before we go to break, you've been here before with the Paterson U last year. When you're in these situations, how important is it to have that we've been here before championship mentality, to walk in like a professional and not let the pressure get to you?
That literally makes or break the team. When we used to come in playoff situations, feeling it, we understand what's on the line, we understand the plays that have to be made. Guys are giving it that extra push in these situations, and that's what's actually gotten them to a 19-6 lead.
It's hard
at
to be
half.
champions.
It is. We've been here before. Act like you've been here before. We hear it all the time, and they're showing you that they have been here before. This is it.
And we'll see if they can get there one more time. Will the Paterson U go to their 4th straight A7FL championship game, or will the Rare Breed stop a dynasty in the making? We'll find out in a moment. It's halftime here in Asbury Park. It's the A7FL Final Four on Stadium.
Shut up, you ain't no boss. You ain't no boss, you just a period, man. Go over there. We in this bitch.
Quattro Huffin throwing the ball like Rich Gannon with a cannon. It is a 19-6 lead for the Paterson U in the A7FL Final Four. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Corey Hammond and Big Rob Fabian. And guys, let's take a look at some of the highlights to how we got here to the 19-6 score. The Paterson U starting off the game on defense and having to go up against Marcellus Pack. And big opportunity here for the Paterson U. They were down 6-0 here. and just a beautiful throw right to Darryl Luck and getting right inside
Yeah,
the
that was
end zone.
that was the extra
That was
point.
extra point to
And
make it 7-6.
that's just what Kareem Moon does. And then obviously we go to the
backflip.
gymnastics here, which has been real popular in this A7FL playoff run.
Even at my best, I couldn't backflip like that. And again, they're just overusing Pack, Big Mo with the great tackle, Huff with Dot Boss, of course, wide open because they got to respect the run, like we said earlier. I just don't know what Rare Breed is doing today. Huff walking it in.
Well, those types of plays are going to happen as Freight Train let himself know. And then this is when the Rare Breed have been most effective. Not that one
this
specifically.
One, yeah, going outside.
But when they use Pack Money not as the feature weapon, but either the jet motion guy or the misdirection guy, it's been a little bit there.
This
But
play here,
Air Jamaica makes the play
contain,
because that's just smart,
Isaac
heady
with the
football.
tackle with Pitts like that. You just don't. That's not a smart play.
And if the U defense is going to play that smart, it's going to be hard to find openings.
But here was an opportunity for
I
OG
thought he had
Buck.
something here, and that's toe tap. That's a great tackle.
And we've not heard a lot from Marlon Anderson, and there's a big play
My
right there.
goodness.
Unity!
I didn't think he had that in him.
And Kyle Ward stepping up here, the
All
next
season.
generation
Yeah,
of
all
Paterson
season,
U
man.
players have really been proving themselves here. Not Prince Ream, who gave up that interception that got called back, and there you see another
Morris
big
with
play.
the one-handed interception, and he's
And
really
you talk about
known
the next
for that.
generation. That's the previous generation
That's
right
the
there.
previous
Amir Chick
generation.
Morris is a legend in this league.
A true veteran of the A7FL, a man whose name when it's called out in the streets.
And the game might have been over here. This is the last play and a half. One play
is it?
left, and then you have the opportunity with the slant right in DeMar's hands.
He
Is
tries
it
to put it a little
game
too
over?
high. He puts it
and
high.
then Watson
He puts it a little
keeps
too
Rare
high.
Breed in this game because that would have been 3 touchdowns difference going in to another opportunity for the U to score. So that last play had a lot of dire consequences if it went the other way. So the Rare Breed able to keep it within 2 scores is they're going to have to stop the U on offense. And it'll be interesting to see if the U keeps this. Their pass ratio, I think, is a little too high going into the second half. One of the things that the Tampa Nightcrawlers, hold up,
I'm listening.
Let him defend
I'm
himself.
listening.
the
Let him
Tampa
defend himself.
Nightcrawlers came into the game against the Rare Breed in the second half specifically, and 90% of the play calls were pass plays,
Okay.
which allowed the Rare Breed to sneak back in. If the U really want to dominate this game and stab the Rare Breed in the throat with a cleat, they might go up top with a couple more of those devastating plays. But if they really want to play smart football and they want to dominate with D-Train and their big stable of backs, they could end this game with one really long 8-minute drive right now and go up 3 scores.
This is the U. They're not giving you an 8-minute
He would
drive.
know. He would know. He's
they're
gonna
gonna
say
take
wait.
the chance. They're going to take the chance only because they're up so much, and they want to put the points on the board because now it makes it even worse.
But
for the
maybe
Rare Breed.
for
It's a harder climb.
But for a defense in the Rare Breed that has been at times the heart and soul of this team, because we talk about their statistics, their offense is not one of the premier offenses of this league. It's their defense. And if the U keeps their defense in the game, I think that's what they want, guys.
And that's what they want, and that's what we're going to have to see on the other side of this break. The Paterson, you get the ball. Are we going to see them in the 4th straight A7FL title game, or the Rare Breed step up when it counts? We'll find out on the other side of this one. It's the A7FL Final 4 on Stadium. here live. It's the A7FL Final Four on Stadium. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond. The Paterson U will start with the ball, and a lot of opportunities left for this rare breed offense to turn things around. It's a closer game than it's been feeling.
It 100% is a closer game than you think. Look at it from this perspective. The rare breed have made nothing but mistakes and only down 2 big scores. That's it.
Well,
they have a whole second half
with the chance to go up 3 scores.
Right. And
the rare breed made the play.
It was a big stop.
So when you talk about momentum, and it is a real thing, it's a tangible thing that you can
100%.
feel. Going into this 3-on-1, the rare breed kind of snatched a little bit of momentum back from what they lost.
A very small amount
on the interception. Well, they had the interception where we're like, oh, they're going to go up 3 scores. And then they had the fade to Jakari Mims to the 2-yard line.
Right.
And if you're the U, you're sitting pretty. So to make that play at the last one of the half, as we start here, Freight Train with the throw.
Why not let it fly? Let's see. They're giving it to Kyle Ward.
Kyle Ward now. Cuts to around the 30. Tries to get stopped and stalled by Marcellus Pack, and he'll run out of play.
I guess he didn't feel like hustling.
Arm day is every day for Kyle Ward. That's why you see those stiff arms so frequently.
Buys, tries, and never skips a leg day, but he doubles down on arms day.
Well, when you're that fast, naturally, you just go straight arm day, arm day, arm day, and then you just run to the gym.
He picks things up, he puts them down, and he's put the Paterson U in a solid position here.
We talked about scales. This is the scale stressor personnel for in light of what season it always is in the A7FL. You see the ice cream truck in the backfield.
And again, we talked about it during the break. I think right now the U's going to come in, run over the top. It's going to be a little quicker than – it's going to be a little slower than they're used to, but it's going to be methodical. They're going to slice these guys up.
And the snap, the handoff to the ice cream truck. And the ice cream truck met immediately by a dietitian in the form of the Baltimore rare breed defense.
Holding hands like that?
No ice cream for the children on that one.
Much like CC Sabathia when he was a pitcher in the Major League Baseball league. You know, I like the fluffier version of the ice cream truck, man, personally.
Goodness.
If you look statistically, he was a bigger stat producer when he had that extra, 75 pounds of the fluffiness. But as we bring up second and about 9 on the run there.
Well, we know at the A7FL, we're all about the TBS, the thick boy season, and it'll be second and 10 with 13:45.
Most of the ice cream truck fans from all of his highlight plays are because of the 320 that he was bringing to the open field tackle.
Listen, man, he's on an ice cream diet, man. He looks great. He looks great.
It's that skinny cow, right? It's skinny cow. I've tasted it.
Ice cream. It's low calorie.
He's going with the Stockton shorts, that's for sure.
He's the keto ice cream now.
That's a choice. Like when you're doing that, that's a daring choice.
Somewhere Jalen Rose is upset with ice cream truck shorts. That's all I'll say.
You don't like his hoochie daddy shorts?
I was abbreviating with the HD shorts.
HD shorts. You're not a fan of.
It'll be second and 10.
Well, anything's a TikTok trend now. My 13-year-old son's gonna make me buy him. So.
Oh Lord.
Yikes.
It'll be second and 10. An opportunity here for the U. Quattro Huffin will take it, and he's got nothing but the field in front of him, and will run out of play.
Oh, my goodness.
And that's Freight Train
with the extracurriculars,
now,
man.
He was technically in bounds, so that's more of Huff having to the presence of mind to realize that he's within striking distance.
But you can start seeing frustration, though, in Freight Train. Freight Train's not usually a guy that does these kind of things. He plays rough, he plays aggressive, but he plays within
He's that 1990s power forward. He's not letting you get an easy play. And
Rodman,
you saw Huff's face. Once he gets in that open field, he starts a troll mode, and Freight Train is not for that life whatsoever.
That Draymond Green energy coming from the Baltimore rare breed on defense.
Like Charles Oakley.
Did I show my age by saying Rodman?
Not in the least bit.
I said Oakley. Nobody even knows Charles Oakley.
I just rewatched The Last Dance. I'm always down for a Rodman or Oakley reference. The snap, the handoff to the ice cream truck.
Listen.
Well, we have to coordinate. We have to do the same song.
Much like Mr. Softy, the ice cream man needs his own jingle. So if you are out there and you want to make a jingle for the ice cream truck to play whenever he runs, follow us on Twitter at the A7FL or A7FL on Instagram. Follow us across social media. And if you're watching along today, use the hashtag A7FL and let us know what you're thinking.
Yeah, the defense reacted to Moon going in motion, opened it up a huge hole for their ice cream truck, 2nd and 1. Here goes in motion again.
The handoff again. Whoop. Oh, no, the quarterback keeper.
Wow.
And he'll be stopped at the line.
I'll be very
It'll
honest.
third
I
down.
lost the ball.
Oh, they ball bop.
The ball is in
out,
the Rare Breed's hands, but we'll see what the call is on the field.
and it looks like it'll just be
Forward
called a
progress
sack.
was stopped.
Yeah, it'll be a tackle / sack.
That
and
was a dangerous one right there. We see the replay.
And a dangerous move there.
Oh,
And
he's
Good play by
He's down.
Beefy.
He's definitely down.
Staying home, not over pursuing. Brings up 3rd and 1.
stopped at the line. Dot boss, Markeith Williamson in motion. 2 wide receiver set. You see Coburn at the top of your screen. Kareem Moon at the bottom. The handoff
Right
to the ice cream truck.
And all he needed was one.
He gets the forward progress and a little bit of a redecorating of his jersey. And the ice cream truck just ready for anything and anyone. It'll be 1st and 10.
And somewhere the YouTubers that 5 Point Vids was volunteering for this league were like, oh no, oh no.
They're wondering if they could pull off the shorts.
Yeah, well, no, the shorts especially, but that 1 yard, that's life in the A7FL for a running back. That's why it's rare to see a veteran like Hardbody in there. After so many years, Sadiq Pitts going in motion to the top of your screen, 1st and 10.
And we got people from Baltimore watching us today, Oakland, California, Las Vegas, across the world, watching us here on the A7FL. Hardbody pushing, persisting, but not getting a huge gain there as McKinney will get stopped and stifled and be 2nd down.
And I think Baltimore has a very specific rivalry with Hardbody Marcus McKinney because the famous buy a McChicken, they're only $1 quote came against a Baltimore team.
Well, and this is the type of run play that the U have been pretty much executing, and they're not getting exactly what they want, but what they want is to make the Rare Breed honor this type of play to open up a play action. And even though this isn't a very successful run play, it still gets positive yardage, but it's setting up the touchdowns.
Yeah, it gets the point across.
2nd and 10. Play action. Huff in trouble. Needs to find a way out of it. Throws it. That one caught.
That's Marcus McKinney. Marcus McKinney. I'm telling you that like this guy should not even be in the league right now. I thought he was retired. He came back a couple pounds heavier and still with the athleticism. It's amazing.
And how much of that is just the U knowing each other so well to where they can play. It's much like
I'll tell you exactly what it is, Matt. It's Huff being Houdini
Huff,
handcuffed in a straitjacket in a box with 4 guys around him and somehow finding a way to make the 1st down because that's a touch pass, and he had to throw a touch pass. He's on his back foot, retreating against huge guys about to kill him.
And this is the
and he's spreading the ball out, right? Yeah.
8th different receiver that Quattro Huffin has thrown to today. 8 different receivers. He threw to 14 different receivers so far this season on Games of the Week.
Yeah, go from the ice cream truck to the D-Train.
When D-Train goes downhill, man, get out the way. Get out the way. That's a big boy.
Shaking up on the way out. There's the Wolverine.
I haven't really been saying his name much today at all.
Might have missed him in the first half, Ricardo.
5'8", 180-pound dudes. That's probably pound for pound one of the toughest guys in the A7FL here, taking on what we'll say 270 conservatively.
Conservative, you're being very nice.
I said conservatively.
Yeah, you're being very nice.
I didn't say liberally. We'll say liberally. That's about 3.7. No, that's way too much.
And OG Buck trying to control the pace here.
He's one of the only quarterbacks you see getting in there on the defensive huddles.
While we've seen him also play defense a few times this season, but when it comes to the deeper this game gets, it's the first drive, and we're already, over the 5-minute mark.
That's what I was going to say, Matt. It's a 7-minute and counting and climbing drive for the U. They're maintaining balance. Huff is taking what the defense has given them, and even when the defense has stood up to the challenge and basically stopped the design play, Huff has found something else as we see some tropical fruit flying from the sky.
Fort Worth, Texas, and Philadelphia joining us, too, and a timeout called.
Who's that guy with the yellow? Look at that mustard hat on the sideline. Shout-outs.
That would answer a lot of questions. Yikes. It'll be a flag on the offense. It'll be 2nd and an uncomfortable amount of El Hijo del Cam Newton on the sideline. Someone with a sartorial splendor. And how much do you think that hat's? Like $25? $50?
He's popping tags. That's a Macklemore thrift shop special right there.
It's a $15 hat, man.
The man in the yellow hat on the sideline. 2nd and 14. The handoff to the D-Train to play action. In trouble, throws this one deep to the end zone. Touchdown! Jumpman, Jumpman, Jumpman. He must be, pardon me, that's not even him. That's DeMar. DeMar Cisco getting the catch. Touchdown, Paterson.
And the Rare Breed were committed to stopping the run, and that's great, except for when it's a pass play. Huff is also just as much of a magician with the sleight of hand. With the play action, it looks like it's D-Train.
Whoop, whoop.
Finds the open space, and with a man.
That quick hezzy pump fake. Oh, he is front.
That's Watson who made the play at the end of the half.
Upset.
Oh,
he is upset. Look at that. He got caught by that hezzy.
In the hip pocket too.
Oh man, gosh darn it! You heard him.
I heard him from here. Indeed, and it will be a 3-score lead now for Paterson.
He's flummoxed. I mean,
tired of the falderall as the Baltimore Rare Breed.
That's just you football right there, because really, you know what? The Rare Breed did everything right. They even got pressure on the quarterback.
They got flummoxed, man.
When the guy rushing Huff responds to that pump fake going to the right flank, which he would have never gotten there.
DeMar got caught by the same pump fake.
It was 3 points of contact. It was the initial handoff, the fake on the check down screen, and then just throwing that pop fly. Yeah, it was how do you beat 3 points of contact?
If the defensive end commits to just getting a body onto Huff there, it's an incomplete pass. But that hesitation that you said, it opened it up.
They're over.
There's the slant.
Wow. Great catch by Jumpman. Listen, great catch.
The veteran making it count. Now a 20-point lead for Baltimore.
And that's that coin toss. When you defer and you get into the second half, you get the opportunity to have that first drive of the second half and snatch momentum. Rare Breed in a tough spot. They were in a tougher spot last 2 weeks ago.
The game's not over. The problem is they have to fix these mistakes. They have to fix the play calling.
And they have to complete some passes down the field. If OG Buck is going to win this game, it's going to be with his arm.
And it is a 20-point lead built on the back of Quattrell Huffin and Kareem Moon dropping dimes when it counts. The Paterson U with the lead. Will they be able to hold on and head to their 4th A7FL championship? Or will the Rare Breed cash in on that pack money and bring Baltimore back to the chip? We'll find out next. Plays like this are why the Paterson U have 2 A7FL championship rings. And you know what? Our friends at Herff Jones may be lining them up for a 3rd. Herff Jones, the official A7FL championship trophy and ring provider of the A7FL. And for the first time ever, an A7FL MVP ring will be given to the MVP, and we'll have some information on how you can vote on that a little bit later on in the broadcast. But thank you to Herff Jones, herffjones.com for more info. Herff Jones, champion. That's a ring to it. I'm Matt Ryan alongside Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond. 26-6 your score, and the Paterson U will be throwing it off here. And another huge pop fly.
Oh, flag on the throw.
And a flag on the throw might be a violation.
Might be a free opportunity here.
Marcellus Pack.
What you going to do with it? Oh, bad attempt. Bad attempt at a tackle.
We'll get to the 45. We'll see what the flag is.
It's a double flag.
But it might be a double stop here. A dead ball run, pardon me, by Marcellus Pack. And a huge opportunity here for the Baltimore Rare Breed.
Now, you put the ball in. Well, again, I'll let you guys explain what happens on a penalty with the kickoff. Corey, take it away.
Well, the 3 team, the throw-off team, can't leave until the ball is thrown. So the penalty most likely was what we would call a false start.
Right.
But now the way that the penalty works is that Pack doesn't have to worry about catching
He just has
and
to
it
go.
completely takes away the Huff arm aspect of it.
Right.
He gets the ball standing at the 25.
In his
And
hands.
what I always say is if you tackle that guy by the 50, it's a win for the 3-on-1 team. So this is a great opportunity when, the clock is a factor. Get 6 sneaky ones back on the board for
Right.
Pack money. And,
With no
and
time
when,
off the clock.
when the rare breed have had their back against the wall, guys, except for that first game of the season in Ripken Stadium in Maryland, when they lost a relatively close game to BIC, they've been able to answer. Week 2 to now, they're undefeated. And 2 weeks ago, their back was against the wall, and they went right back to Pack money. So if there's a guy I want with the ball in his hands,
it's Pack.
with the chance to kind of change momentum and get them back in a game,
Certainly.
it's Pack money.
Most certainly.
But also, we got to take a look at right now that when the rare breed have the ball, they still have a quarter and a half, and they're not the type of team that's coming in here without at least a plan against this U team. All game, they've been pretty much a couple of plays away, and it's just that one long touchdown from Kyle Ward was a missed tackle, and that one drive where they probably could have got points on the board. Questionable play calling on 3rd and 4th and goal. But, the rare breed have earned their right at this Final Four by stepping up to challenges just like this one. And with a 20-point deficit, you're not in a comfortable spot. But if any team is looking for a chance to really make that change, it's the rare breed with Pack money and his exceptional speed on 3-on-1.
They're not in a comfortable spot, just as uncomfortable as you are in this big boy sandwich. But they can still make a change.
First
in this game.
off, hard pause there. Hard pause.
Shouts to Bruno on YouTube for the big boy sandwich comment. That is hilarious.
So pause to Bruno.
But we will
We don't
reset
talk
here
about
on the
Bruno.
dead ball run after a little consternation and conversation. So at 7:45, it'll be a dead ball run. The clock will not run. Marcellus Pack will get it from the 25.
That boy is fast.
We talk about good coverage and being outmanned on a 3-on-1. Shout out to my wife who's at my daughter's dance recital by
Still
herself
watching.
with the whole army.
Oh, my.
And
oh
here
my.
comes an opportunity
Oh,
for
my.
Marcellus Pack. Pack trying to husses
my.
his way out of it.
Ooh. Oh, that's a
Oh,
bad
he
idea.
stays standing.
Wrap up, young man. And they take him down by his shoulders again.
And that one might have hurt a little bit, but Pack gets up and a solid run there, a solid
A
return.
solid run. It
But
could
I
have
asked
been
you
worse.
guys where did it go out?
50-yard line.
50. So that's a win for the 3-on-1 team on those with this running start. But this is where you can get really, really vulnerable on the 3-on-1 is if you don't have the speed at that edge and you get beat on the cutback. But
And
credit to
yet-
Sadiq Pitts, who
Might have lost 5
started
extra
off
yards.
Right,
as
after.
somebody that teams would go at when playing the U. Now he's a guy that they have to avoid. Is Lenny Manziel making an appearance at quarterback?
Interesting change up here for the start of the second half. And
If anybody has the confidence to just come straight off the sideline and start making plays, it's this guy.
was 2 for 2 weeks ago. Lenny Manziel throws downfield a dart.
Oh, boy.
Caught.
Okay,
Tony
toe
tap
tap.
him.
Toe
Marvin
tap.
Anderson brought down inside the 15. Pardon me, inside the 25, and it'll be 1st and 10.
I mean, if we're looking at the difference between, I was about to say Huss. If we're looking at the difference between OG Buck and Lenny Manziel, Manziel is more of a pure passer.
And Manziel's going to call his number.
Right. And
He's going to
gonna-
call his
yeah.
number. We talk about the strength of Buck's game at times is that he's a game manager. Well, when the game's getting a little bit out there, you know who's not scared of the moment? It's Lenny Manziel. He's going to run. He doesn't care if there's a guy in his face. And with the whole top diamond and the bottom row goal, 1st and 10, as the rare breed are moving. And I specifically, he has a grill. And when we get a close-up on him, he does. I asked him if he's cool with it. He said, let's go. He also had pink socks on and multicolored Crocs. Let's go.
Snap. In trouble. Manziel throws this one out of play. And I spoke with Lenny Manziel as well earlier today. He said, back then they didn't want me. Now they act like they all
Oh,
on me.
my goodness. He's
what
not
I'm
even
saying.
from Texas, guys.
Listen, he's got a grill on. If I make grill references,
No, you
it's
got it.
2022.
But great pressure by Isaac again.
But a great play from Manziel
Yeah,
to turn that potential sack and loss of 12
Right.
to 2nd and 10, no big deal.
But the
Especially when
difference-
your attitude of offense is, I'm going to throw it 4 times,
No,
and I could
right.
probably get 10 yards.
Now, but once the defense sees that Manziel is in, we're pinning our ears back and just going to get him because he doesn't have enough huss to get away from Isaac.
But even to that point, it's making the offense more, as you were saying, Rob, more one-dimensional.
Right.
And they'll have to call on a Marcellus Pack or an Omari Thomas there, but they're spreading the ball out, though. So they're tipping their hand really, really, really hard here. 2nd and 10 to snap.
They're going right for him.
Manziel throws downfield, caught wide open.
Tony?
Touchdown, Marlon Anderson.
Who's that?
That's
Tony
Toe
Toe
Tap.
Oh, my goodness.
Marlon
Toe
Anderson.
tap. Oh, he threw up to you. Toe tap.
Ooh.
So he just pat him on his head?
Yeah, he went right up to Ryan
my
Shamar, which is the
goodness.
only person that can't go on the field and respond. But right now, he's getting ready to make a Facebook message about that. Well, but let's talk about the stepping up into the pocket and having the presence of mind to just find the completely wide open receiver down the field. If you're going to cover a guy in the routes for the rare breed, it probably should be Tony Toe Tap, one of their only every down receivers. But, guys, that's how quickly the A7FL can change. The rare breed go to the sideline. They go off the bench to their 6th man of the year. And with a grill in his mouth, with a huge smile and multicolored Crocs on the sideline, my man Lenny Manziel comes and makes this a very interesting ball game.
Multicolored Crocs throwing the ball up top is Lenny Manziel, and he'll be behind center for a 1-point conversion. 26-12 now, trying to make this a 26-13 game, make this a 13-point game. Manziel in trouble, looking for an option, throws, and that one will end up out of play, almost going to our camera guy. And there you see a shot. Shout out to our camera team today. And private investigator Carl Meisner on the sideline. We'll see the BIC in action a little later on at 4 o'clock Eastern on Stadium. You are looking live at Asbury Park Stadium in Asbury Park, New Jersey. And at 26-12, you feel that playoff energy from both of these teams, guys. And when it comes to the Paterson U, how do you respond in this situation? Rob, you can speak better to anybody. How do they respond in this situation?
They're just going to go down the field and score. I mean, I know it sounds so simple, and I know I'm not giving heavy detail because you won't need it. They're going to run over your head. And it's just that simple because these guys are behind.
But on the other side,
clock,
now,
so
if you're the rare breed defense and you've been playing the whole first half with OG Buck, who's had a great season, and we're not trying to diminish his performance in this season, but in this game, he's been a little ineffective, whether it's either the play calling or the execution. But when your backup quarterback comes in and gives you life and immediate injection of points, literally not only just the excitement that you have, but the belief.
You think that's going to power the defense to stop the
If anything would, the rare
that?
breed defense, who has basically been able to carry this team for most of the season, when they can believe in their offense is able to score that quickly, hey, they're going to come at the U with another level of life. If anything,
I have to agree. I mean, we got to look.
They're
for
only
Wolverine
down 14,
to do something.
and this is exactly where they want to be when they were down 20.
To do something.
And here comes the opportunity for Ward. Cuts down the sideline, but will be brought out a play around the 40.
Today.
Yeah, Freight Train is not letting any U player get by him without feeling either his wrath or the ground.
I feel as though Freight Train is by himself today, but instead, like when they went against Tampa, Freight Train, Wolverine, other guys were making big plays today. I've only seen Freight Train.
Freight Train is the epitome of a Batman villain, I think. He just walks out there and he's just a super villain in every sense of the word. Right now, he's getting in the face of Boobie Miles. He's getting in the face of his own team. And all of the things he's saying, guys, are not allowed to be aired on television. And when you're down 14 points, you do need that type of attitude to get back in here.
Definitely
and all
need
of
that.
those tough, hard plays, they really, although they are a little bit boneheaded, they really didn't cost him anything.
No, not much.
But the attitude that Freight Train brings is exactly what this rare breed team needs if they're going to come back in this game.
Very necessary.
And we're seeing it here, two wide receiver set. 2 men behind the line with Quattro Huffin. Whistle dead, and it looks like we'll keep rolling here. No flag. We're at 4:50 and counting here in the third quarter. The BIC will be up at 4 o'clock, and they will be playing the Baltimore Gators. Don't miss that game here on Stadium. The Paterson U will have the ball here. They drained a lot of clock on their first drive of the quarter. The play action to throw over the middle. Caught! And D-Mars going
bye.
Slip slides, takes this one to the house.
That's it.
Shot
that was
chaser.
Guys, I tried to soften it up by saying, hey, they'll run it a little bit. But, again, they're going for these strikes. They don't care.
Well, and the Rare Breed have 5 guys in what we would call the defensive box. And let's just talk about, when we look at the replay here, just pay close attention to the play action. Huff has to yanks the ball out of the clutches of his running, and it's such a long pass completion. We can't even rewind that far back to the play action. But when Rob, you can speak to this. When you line up against DeMar, and we'll just talk about just the way that he appears, he immediately
he
watch
doesn't
this
look.
play
Look
action.
at how he yanks it out.
And then everybody's playing run, nobody's playing pass. And even though Aunt Mo probably could stay stride for stride, he actually breaks from the slant route and goes to the...
He doesn't know who DeMar is, and
Now
that's why now he does. And I don't think Baltimore's aware of who DeMar is, so maybe that's going to hurt them in the long run.
Anthony DeMar, Cisco with the catch, and he's just here to three-peat, fellas, and it's now 32-12. And it's just an overwhelming onslaught from Paterson because it's the diversity of the offense. The only team we can really compare it to is the BIC.
Well, and what BIC has done all season is, in essence, build a team that they can take on this dynastic group of gentlemen. And it's the whole league. Like we said earlier, this Rare Breed team is an amalgamation of multiple Maryland teams to combine with the Cobras to take on the U. And how is it going so far today?
1-point conversion.
Excuse me. Look at that motor. Look at that motor. Look at that motor.
Finding the open man, and that's Pat Coper.
Have you ever seen a cheetah stretch?
And it is now a 21-point lead for Baltimore. They were able to get points on the board on their last drive, but now the Paterson U going punch for punch, stride for stride. Will the Baltimore Rare Breed find a way to get back into the end zone on back-to-back drives? If so, it'll be on the back of Lenny Manziel, Tony Totap, and the man returning the ball, Marcellus Pack. We're going to find out what happens on the other side of the break. And it is 33-12. We'll find out if the Rare Breed have it in them to make it into the rarefied air of the A7FL Championship. We'll find out on the other side of this one. It's the third quarter of the A7FL Final Four on Stadium. It is 33-12 with 4:26 left to play in the third. And if you're watching this game and you want to talk about it, you can do so on social media. We're live right now on YouTube, but you can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Snapchat for exclusive content you'll only see on social media. So do the thing. Follow us now for highlights that break the internet, conversations that draw you into the game, and a whole lot more. Use the hashtag A7FL on Twitter or follow us across your favorite social media platforms. It's highlights, scores, and you on social media. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Big Rob Fabian and Corey Hammond.
The Twitter bot.
The Twitter bot.
And
I actually have content now. I retweet things now. So.
And you can also catch us on Twitter Spaces. We'll be live on Championship Week on Wednesday night at 9 p.m.
And the one thing that we a lot of times would hear on a Twitter Spaces would be the trash talk from a team entering. But you know what we did not hear is any talk from the U, which kind of goes to show you that they're almost in that zero dark 30 mode.
It's exactly what it is.
They started this
30.
postseason run basically saying to themselves, look, we don't have to worry about anything that happened during the regular season. It really didn't matter. And even during those weeks, guys, I think we were saying, the U is here for a championship, not regular season wins. And right now, they're sitting pretty with the Rare Breed in a tough spot, down 21.
And that ball stumbling out of the end zone.
That was dangerous. That was
and
Great
gets brought
tackle
down.
by Huff. My goodness. I think Huff heard me when I said he was a liability because that was an amazing tackle.
Guys,
if he
I'm
doesn't
home.
make
the
that
third straight MVP.
listen, if
He's looking for that MVP.
He must, because if he doesn't make that tackle,
That could
that's
be a
a
touchdown.
house call. No, house. Period. He's to the apartments. It's over. It's over if he doesn't make that
Breaks
tackle.
down,
Look at that great break.
swivels his hips,
wow.
wraps, pulls him down.
Great tackle by Huff. That's paint if he doesn't make that.
Gentlemen home, that's what the Seahawks teach in the NFL, and that's a quarterback, an MVP in this league, also throw-off specialist.
I heard a rumor he played safety once upon a time. I believe it.
I heard a rumor that all of the things he did this year, a human being can't do. And
Yeah.
it's not a rumor, it's fact.
Houdini Huff.
And when you talk about the MVP candidates of the A7FL,
4 o'clock?
At 4 o'clock game, you got Sterry
Got a
Codrington,
lot.
you got Ashante Worthy.
Hey, I'll tell you what, if this man wins this
Snap up
game, Lenny
first and
Manziel's
10.
in that conversation.
Manziel over the middle.
Jeez.
And welcome to the A7FL.
Ooh.
What a tackle by number 13, Amir Chick
Just
Morris.
in case you thought we couldn't deliver big hits without equipment on and everyone gets up safe, there you go.
High
Yikes.
gal mother bleeper. What a play by Amir Chick Morris. Let's take a look again. And
Ooh,
Hey, you guys
great tackle.
are letting me down for the offensive type of attitude we usually have. That's a completed pass. It's a good hit.
it's a great.
But
It's
that's a
better
completed
hit.
pass
I like
first,
to hit
guys.
better than pass.
Amari Thomas with the great catch on Amir Chick Morris.
That-
and Lenny Manziel with an absolute dart. I am a quarterback, and I will always root for the offense.
You go, boy.
2nd and 5.
Second and 5.
See, that's an
correct.
optimist-pessimist thing.
The
2nd and
snap.
5 is half full.
Manziel in trouble, smothered,
Yikes.
covered.
First sack by, okay.
Gets hit with the Baba Booey, brought down, and it'll be third and an uncomfortable amount for the rare breed.
Those are some
OG
big
Booby
dudes
Miles.
bringing down a little quarterback.
That's a lot of man.
Not much you could say there about the offense on that one. Great play by the defense.
Yeah, it's a lot of men to be falling on that little man.
And
like
Rashad
that.
Knight coming in. So he can say that he was part of another championship, even though we know it's just the Immortals Championship that really counts.
Yikes.
KD.
And it's not Seth Batson in the background. We are in Asbury Park, and we've got boats all around us.
And those aren't little boats.
And the Paterson U looking to be the boat, the best of all time in the A7FL.
The boat.
Up 33 to 12. And an opportunity here for Lenny Manziel with his back against the wall to say that
37. Let's see if Lenny can do it.
can the rare breed stay tipping. We'll find out. The snap. Manziel in trouble, throws one-handed, can't make it happen, and it'll be 4th down.
And again, Lenny's problem right now, it's not that he's not having good play calling, but he's not as dynamic as a quarterback as Buck is. So he can't move the way Buck can move in certain situations, which means you have defensive linemen and defensive ends pinning those ears back and going straight after him.
And they're rushing with integrity, and they're not letting him break the contain, forcing him into the middle of the pocket, which is a dangerous spot to be in. And Lenny Manziel definitely has something that it takes to step up in there and throw it, but at his size, he's also lacking the ability to sometimes see. So that was a relatively good throw for the situation, but when you're going in the teeth of the U defense, it's a tough ask for any quarterback, especially. And Lenny Manziel's playing great.
Offense back out?
They are going for it on 4th and 7.
Wow. Listen, guys, I've said it against the Tampa game. You respect
the
game,
U can
and they will
score just
respect
as
you.
easily down the field as they
Snap.
can from
That's
here.
fine.
Manziel caught, blocked, brought down.
Like I said, respect the game, and it will respect you. There was no points. There was no point for that. Kells was ready for it. There was no point of going for it there.
He's flexing.
And the
And they'll
flag on
take
the
the
play.
flag. They'll take the flag. Just to prove a point. They'll take the flag.
But that's costly. A roughing the passer call, and you
Slam.
Yeah.
Come on now. They'll
Rashad
take the
Knight maybe
flag.
should have stayed on the sideline for the U there, and he would have avoided.
Leave Rashad alone, man.
that is the flag on Rashad Knight, and
He's a spy. He's a spy for the Immortals on that one.
hit
He's
him.
a spy for the Immortals.
I'm gonna be honest. That's more of a statement than anything. Like, hey, you can be hit, Pack. Like,
Yeah, but you
Pack's
know what?
not gonna
Lenny
forget that hit.
Lenny Manziel is stepping right back into the game and throwing dimes every single time. The only time that the U have stopped him is when his receivers haven't caught balls that have hit their hands.
And going for it on 4th and 7, Manziel just a magnet to making something happen.
And
he
he
couldn't
is
make it
not.
with the throw. He can
One of
make
the
it
things
happen
that I
with the
wanted to
flag.
see from Buck is to call a couple more pass plays. Well, you know what? This is a guy after
You
my
got-
own heart. He
Yeah,
is
I know.
calling
You're loving this right now,
100%
right?
pass plays. I don't even know if he's calling
Snap.
them routes.
The screen
Oh.
cuts through. Pack
Uh-oh.
Buddy going.
Uh-oh.
Could be. Should be.
Bye,
Still going.
bye. Pack with the speed. They're saying that he might have stepped out.
I hope he didn't.
They're saying that he might have stepped out.
Kels Gallimore pointing at the sideline. Once you touch the hash,
that's a face that says he went out of bounds. But that's the elite speed, and that rocket screen has been there all day. And when you get that block, you saw a big man come out and set the edge here on the replay. That's a lot of meat getting out there.
That's a great block.
And then Air Jamaica, we talked about his experience. Well, he doesn't have that second level. And
inside the 10, so it looks like he stepped out at the 9-yard line.
Did he?
And Lenny Manziel will not relent. He is going for the touchdown, even if it's out of bounds here.
And we see here, it's the hash mark. If you're watching for the first time ever, the field
it's
is
when
cut
Kels
in
come in here at the end, it's really close.
And it's around the 9-yard line.
I didn't see it.
It's around.
I'm biased, though. I'm biased.
I'm not going to lie. I'm giving that touchdown.
And that will be how we end the third quarter. So 45 minutes of intrigue will lead us into a final 15 to where the Baltimore Rare Breed are knocking on the door of the Paterson U. Will the Paterson U find a way to their 4th straight A7FL championship, or will the Baltimore Rare Breed play spoiler? We'll find out on the other side. It's the A7FL Final Four on Stadium.
Let 14 come. 14, let him come. He a non-fact. Let your quarterback know, though. He a non-fact. He a non-fact. Every time. He ain't missed. Hey, bro. Defense. Defense. We get it.
After a late hit on 4th down, Marcellus Pack has put the Baltimore Rare Breed in shouting distance of staying in this game. And Rob, Corey, my question to you gentlemen is, was that penalty, was that late hit, Rob, worth it for the Paterson U?
I think they'll think it's worth it, but up here in the booth where I'm sitting, I don't think it was worth it to now put Rare Breed in such a scoring position so quick right after the play. So for me personally, I don't think it was worth it. I think they should have eased back a little bit. I think they should have just played the game. But if you ask the U, I'm pretty sure they think it was 100% worth it.
And it
Rashad,
will be 1st and goal.
Immortal Spy. Immortal Spy. 1st and goal.
And it will be the handoff. Cuts
Thick
to the
boy
outside.
Touchdown? Thick boy touchdown.
Season.
Let's go.
Touchdown.
Is he going to flip? Is he
Montel Goods.
Oh.
Whoa.
I felt the ground shake a little bit on that one.
All the judges will give that one 10s, and they'll get into the end zone, getting this one a little closer, 33-18.
And guys, please don't leave the screen. I don't want you to think because of the score that the game's over. The game's not over. There's plenty of time left for Rare Breed to make a comeback, especially with now at the with Manziel at the helm.
And just a beautiful play.
Great blocking. My
Great
goodness.
Pushing the pile, and the big man, number 41, Montel Goods, a.k.a. Triple X, pulling a Vin Diesel there.
Look, listen to this.
Listen,
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense.
listen, of all the backflips we've seen in this postseason, and we've seen a lot of backflips, guys. That is the heaviest backflip by far. At least 50 to 70 pounds on every other backflip we've seen.
That's a TBF, thick boy flipping.
That's a thick boy. Wait till Marcus McKinney hits one.
And it will be an extra point attempt.
Uh-oh. I see.
And it'll
see
be
some
from
frustration on the U's defense.
And it was a play on a flag on the defense, unsportsmanlike conduct by the U, and that'll be assessed on the throw off. Manziel going for 2, the throw, tipped, caught.
Wow! And he hands him the ball. That's tough. That's tough. He's a little boy. Go ahead, Tony Toe Tap.
Marlon
Go ahead,
Anderson.
Tony Toe Tap. He said, guys, it's me.
Putting him on the burner, cooking him up like grits in the morning.
Tony Toe Tap has just been phenomenal this season. I feel like I've been saying it every time I see him on the Game of the Week. I've been calling his name out. Tony Toe Tap is phenomenal.
And guys, Lenny Manziel coming off basically just cold off the sideline, comes in. His team is down, like really down.
Ooh.
And he's had 2 incompletions that have hit his receiver's hands. And he's orchestrated 2 touchdown drives in less time, guys, than OG Buck was on the entire.
So then it makes you question, should Manziel have started the game?
That's tough because you go with what brought you here, and you can see that the game plan with Lenny Manziel is to throw.
And what if it was still Buck's call to put Manziel in? It still goes to show he has a great football mind.
The only thing I think that OG Buck Raheem Chaney cares about right now
is the win.
Is getting that 20 into the 30s and making this a tighter game. It's a 2-score game now, and a 3-on-1 thrown from the 50 after the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Kyle Ward beating Ricardo Freeman and the Wolverine.
Ain't that strong. Hold on.
Won't even get a...
Hold on.
That's an adamantium grip right there. Stops him as soon as he gets there. And, when you're down 13 in the fourth quarter, it's not ideal, but 13 points is not that many.
Come on now. That's
15
very
minutes.
doable in 15 minutes.
Absolutely.
We saw what happened in 40 seconds last time we saw the Rare Breed. And with 14:35, both teams with all of their timeouts.
And the one thing that the Rare Breed had going for them when they were playing the Tampa Nightcrawlers is the attitude that the Nightcrawlers had. They didn't respect the clock, and what they did was they kept going and trying to put on more points.
No.
And if the U fall into that same trap, the Rare Breed,
they're in trouble. They're using trouble.
They're in a spot right now where they have nothing to lose. They've got their backup quarterback in there just chucking it all around. The U right now, they're hungry for their 3rd straight championship, and the pressure right now is on the team up 13 more than it is on the team that has to come back.
And you know what? This is the most pivotal drive of not just the game for the Paterson U, but for the entire season. It'll be 1st and 10, 13:53 and counting. And an opportunity here for the Paterson U to try to lock this one in. Up by 13. 13:45 left to play. Watch the edge rusher. Play action.
He pulls it
Quattrell Huffin throws a bomb.
Rare Breed with the interception. Oh, my goodness. Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Could be into the house. Slip slides.
Here we go.
Gets inside the 20 and brought down inside the 15.
And Hefe Jones.
Did we not say don't leave?
And it takes advantage of what would have been a touchdown if Jakari Mims could just hold on to the football. That's
Did
a one-on-one
we not
throw.
say don't leave?
Oh, yeah.
And that's...
And Hefe Jones trying to make a call to his cousin Herf saying, don't put a U on no ring yet.
What's the flag?
Blocking the back, I think.
After the turnover.
After the turnover.
It was a block in the back on the U after the turnover.
Oh, Lordy. Oh,
so
my goodness.
Let's take a look again.
So this ball is not a perfectly thrown ball. That's a jump ball, and that should have been picked off to stop. But because he turns around late, Jakari Mims had a chance at it. Yeah, I think that's where the penalty is right there. So we're not going to have such a close one. But, hey, Lenny Manziel is magic.
Guys, momentum shift.
That should be a touchdown.
Aloysius Manziel making it happen here today.
Boom.
Momentum shift.
Back then, they didn't want me. Now they act like they're all on me. Manziel leading this team.
This game has just opened
the whole
up.
Top, dominant, the bottom row. Yo, this whole fourth quarter might just get chopped and screwed right now.
Beat me to it. I hate that you beat me to it.
He called it first.
But the Rare Breed looking to make something happen here. The Paterson U looking to keep this lead, looking to go to their 4th straight A7FL championship.
Listen, it's not looking too good for the U right now. They're losing momentum, something vicious, and it's all coming from that late hit.
No.
Mansell to snap the screen.
Pack money.
Pack money cuts around and will get a solid game there, making
Because he
something
gave him
out
a
of
little
nothing.
huss and took off. I'm impressed. They're gonna put the game on Pack's back, and he's ready for it.
That was like a Tony Tone huss, just
Huss,
light enough.
Huss, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a little quick step.
I thought he was going to make the mistake and try to cut it all the way back against the field.
I'm happy he didn't.
He didn't, and he gets 5 yards. And on first down, now that we're at 12:30, only down 13.
They can gamble with the clock a little more.
And the Rare Breed don't have to score on 1 or 2 plays.
No, they can drive
take what
the
the
ball,
defense gives them, and it puts the U defense in a really tough spot because they've played this whole game in the box, nose to nose. Now they have to make the adjustment because the Rare Breed have totally switched offensive strategy.
Play action.
Right.
Mansell in trouble. Mo Ramadan and defense giving chase. Incomplete. And if he would have made that catch, you would have had a whole open field to get that first down and more.
And that's the most dangerous type of play a quarterback can do in the A7FL, running back and forth, turning around, fired in the middle of the field. Luckily, it's only an incompletion, which will bring up 3rd and 5, but the great coverage from one of the best cover corners in our game, Neon Deion Davis. Look at the long-live Palestine pressure right up the middle, and he stays consistent with it. I don't know what he's looking there.
Just head on the swivel.
Toe tap is the go. Oh no, that's Pack Money.
That's Pack.
Pack Money is the go-to guy in this situation, and one of the things that the Rare Breed have completely gone away from is sending him in that motion and using him as a decoy.
You don't need it with Manziel.
Well,
he's throwing the ball.
Is Lenny Manziel sponsored by Under Armour? Look, he's got an Under Armour tattoo. That's
3rd
legendary.
and 5. Well, they are from Baltimore.
Good blocking.
Mansell throws a dime
Why
downfield.
not let it? Oh my God! Bad tracking. Bad tracking. He could have caught that.
Yeah, but
Tracking like a bad VCR, and it'll be 4th and 5.
But the ball was thrown more upfield than away from the defender, and once he made his break to the cross opposed to the post,
take a look,
it's
man.
not a perfect throw. If he puts the ball out in front of him,
come on now, Corey. Bad
I wouldn't have
tracking.
caught it.
I would have. Bad tracking.
You would not have caught up.
No,
to it.
I didn't finish the sentence. I didn't finish the sentence.
You know who would have caught it? JV baseball star Matt Ryan. 4th and 5, and it will be an opportunity for the Rare Breed.
You would have Willie Mays that over the top.
My hat would have fallen off and everything.
But that separates elite receivers from mid-tier ones. A catch
Well,
like
as a
that.
quarterback, when you're throwing it to one of your guys who is not an elite receiver, because that's a running back running downfield, look, the hardest guy to hit wide open is when it matters, is when he's that wide open, 4th and 5.
4th and 5, the
has to
snap.
throw it.
Pressure.
Mansell in trouble.
he gets out of this.
Right.
Oh!
We're all rooting for Manziel because he's making it look so fun.
And
But on 4th and 5, he misses Watson, who was wide open. Now, a Herculean, Houdini effort to get free of the rush, but you got to find your man downfield. And the interception, no harm, no foul, but still plenty of time left. This game is a lot tighter than what you would have thought about it, coming right out of the half when the U basically just destroyed the Rare Breed hopes and dreams on that first drive. Just out of the reach of his receiver.
And he had the check down, too, if you see outside of your screen. And Watson's number called again. And he's had an up-and-down game so far.
Well, it wasn't on him because he was wide open right where he needed to be. Uh-oh. Big change of events here. I see Rashad Knight in there, number 10 for the U.
He's blocking.
Immortal Spy. Let's see what he does.
And the Immortals were the 2019 A7FL champions, the last team to beat the Paterson U in the A7FL championship.
And I'm going to be honest with you, right now, with 9 minutes left, it's all about who wants it more. It's gonna fall to who wants it more.
And the situational football is what it comes down to, because the U is going to be put in situations that if they don't make the big mistake like they did on the last drive, throwing in turnover, they should win this game. But if they don't rise to the occasion and play good situational football, they'll be in the same boat that the Night Crows were in, and they don't even know what they're doing. Throws it up,
flying out of play.
Good thing it was well out of bounds.
Intended for John Cena. And it'll be 2nd down.
The moment's not too big for either of these teams, but the moment is definitely a part of it, because when you're in the position that the U is in, and they've been playing for this opportunity to get a chance, if they win today, to face the winner of the BIC Gators, which in the U's mind, they're hoping to get that 3rd opportunity at BIC. with all of the money literally on the line. 2nd and 10, Darryl Luck in the backfield. Maybe Huff just hands the ball off to him to avoid another Tampa Nightcrawlers event.
2nd and 10. There's the handoff to Darryl Luck. Luck caught and cornered.
And again, the momentum stays. Rare Breed is not asleep here. Their backs are against the wall, but they're fighting back, guys.
And I don't know what the nickname Mental Knees is, but Alex Harden has been playing. That's what his name is right here on our sheet. Metal Knees, excuse me. Still not that great of a read here by the commentary.
Mental Knees is crazy.
It's just as bad to be Metal Knees.
Great penetration here by Mental Knees.
But regardless of how terrible your nickname is that you give yourself,
that's a great
That's playing the edge right there, and it's a no. 3rd down and long, putting the U in a tough spot.
And back-to-back plays where the defenses of both teams have been able to establish just enough pressure to make the quarterbacks make, not so great decisions. And it's going to be a big problem here as we get deeper in this game. 3rd and 16.
Pressure.
In trouble, Huff finds a way out of it, but brought down,
finally gets sacked.
Down.
And these guys, the momentum has stayed where it's at. Their defense, like you've been asking for their defense to show up all game. Here they are.
And having Menzel in at quarterback making the plays that he has add life to this defense, and that extra little half step that they needed to bring down Huff to force the 4th down, because you see the initial pressure is here, and that's a great move by Huff, and he's all smiles. But then Shaquille doesn't break the play, keeps his motor running, and that's like a Verardi-type sack as we preview the 4 o'clock game.
And I can't compare Quattro Huffin's movements on that to a quarterback. He had an Anderson Silva-esque stance.
Right.
He was
like a flow state run kind of. I get you.
And that's that troll stance, because he was looking to make a huge play. Pac-Man with the opportunity, or is it out of bounds?
Looking at coffin corner, this one is the Paterson U, and they do. So it's 7:34 left to play. 2 scores stand in between both of these teams. Baltimore's going to need to score 2 touchdowns and get at least 3 points on the extra point. We're going to have to figure that one out on the other side of this one. Will the Paterson U be able to stop the Baltimore Rare Breed defense? We'll find out in just a moment. It's 7:34 left to play. And we'll see on the other side of this, the Baltimore Rare Breed with the ball here. And they'll get it on the 12-yard line.
And so they're going to have to drive 94 yards.
Menzel can do it.
To bring it within that 1 score. And they do have the 2 quarterbacks out there.
I'm a believer.
Buck is out there with Menzel.
Menzel can do it.
Yeah.
Here's the problem. His teammates are letting him down. Menzel is throwing dimes, guys.
If he has a little bit more protection on the offensive line, I think this game is closer than it is right now.
I could agree with that. Menzel is throwing dimes. Menzel is in there. He's taking the pressure. He's taking these huge guys in his face paws. And he's getting the ball there. These guys have to make spectacular catches.
And Buck, it's the double quarterback. They fake the double pass, go deep.
And that one will be
too much sauce on it.
A little too out of the range there. Much sauce. Mucho sauce. Much throw, very sauce, and it will be 2nd and 10. The clock continuing to wind down in the A7FL. The clock will only stop on incomplete passes under 2 minutes in the 2nd and 4th quarter. And if this game does go to overtime, it is Texas shootout rules, and we will stay with you live across the A7FL network on Stadium.
Foreshadowing.
And
foreshadowing, heavy foreshadowing.
And we will bring you the BIC and Baltimore Gators right here from Asbury Park Stadium as soon as this game is done.
And they do have Buck at the bottom of your screen at wide receiver. He's a quarterback and he's athletic, but I don't know if I really love taking a playmaker off as they go with the shuttle pass.
Oh, it's a beefy. They tried it.
And that one will be a huge loss on the play.
They're going deep into the playbook on this one. Beefy on the shovel pass coming from the tight end position. They're going for the misdirection with the 2 quarterbacks in.
Isaac's not playing. He's in playoff mode. He's focused, man. I don't know.
But when the Rare Breed have succeeded on offense, it's Menzel doing Menzel things and using Pac Money as the decoy. You know, they're going to have to beat this U team with straight up football, beating them with football plays. I don't love in go-to situations doing all this trickeration because a lot of things have to go right.
Yeah, I'm not a fan either.
But on 3rd and 8,
what happens if it's
Buck is back at quarterback?
What happens at what?
Trickeration in this dancery. Is that
That's a lot going on. Trickeration in this dancery.
3rd and 8. OG Buck now back behind
Is
center.
that like a TLC reference?
That is a Mary J. Blige
Oh, Mary J.
reference.
Blige. I'm
Definitely
sorry.
Mary J.
I was trying to
OG
get this up.
Buck looking for an option, throws it complete,
And
and
that's
that's inside the 24 yard,
That's
or the
what
23.
Buck
First down.
gives you a little bit more. If Buck sits in the pocket and he throws, and he sits in the pocket, steps up, and he makes that throw, Buck can give you what Manziel is giving, but Buck is kind of
Well, look, the
limiting
fans at
himself
home
for some
don't
reason.
care who it is, and they go with the fake screen to the right again, but he stays in the
blocks, good
pocket,
blocks.
finds his man, resets his feet, and Pac Money is wide open on that crossing route.
Throws him wide open.
Great,
That's very
great
impressive.
blocking from the offensive line from the Rare Breed. That really is the unsung MVPs of that play.
And they keep the drive alive.
And
here.
that is live. Is that an
That's
interception?
an interception.
Amir Morris with his
no
second of the
way.
day.
Again.
Ain't no way.
And there's a flag on the play.
No
Rare Breed
way.
try to go hurry up. Maybe
Yeah, let's
too quick
please,
for
let's
themselves,
definitely
too quick for our
replay that.
cameramen, but not too quick for Amir Morris.
And it looks like this one might be brought back. Roughing the passer on the defense.
That's the second time it's going to be a huge penalty. And the first time they extend the play, the second time they're taking the ball out of their hands. Chill out, Duke. Having a heated discussion with the officials there.
We've seen that over-aggressiveness, that hyper-aggression from the Paterson U.
And that's the only way to really stop these angry defenses by, punishing
And
them
look
for
at
that.
how much time, though, has been eaten off the clock
A
by
lot.
Baltimore.
A lot.
They started with the ball around 10 and change left in the quarter, and now with 4:41 left to play, they still have all their timeouts, and they might be gifted here a big opportunity to keep this game alive. Let's take a look at the replay here. Buck threw this one, and that one tipped up.
Tip drill.
And
Tip
that
drill.
one caught by Amir Morris, but we don't see
annoying.
the roughing the passer on this one.
He's annoying. He didn't have to do that after
Well,
the catch.
this might hurt everybody in the entire Sunshine State, but premature celebrations haven't been working out for A7FL teams.
Premature jocularity has cost quite a few people this season.
Jack, your what?
Yeah.
Jocularity.
Okay.
He enunciated it correctly.
I know. I didn't hear it correctly.
Well, it's because someone needs to wash your mind out with soap, and
You know
the
the
Rare
vibes.
Breed are going to have to wash this play out of their memory.
That's
that's
close,
the-
but I think the penalty is more on Craig Pitts than it is Lenny Manziel back in the back.
Manziel back in
Steps up.
action. Manziel brought down at the 35. And a loss of about 4 on that one, and an emphatic
There goes
sack.
J-Rock. J-Rock showing his worth.
And with a fresh set of downs, a loss of 3, and Manziel's going to have to do something to pull this team together. A lot of time left. They have all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning, but it has been a costly drive here for the Baltimore Rare Breed. And you see J-Rock Rogers here, a cornerstone of this Paterson U franchise. OG Buck calling the signals inside the huddle, and he'll swap out, and he'll be replaced by number 13.
Well, the Rare Breed are going to have to win with a football play. They pretty much used up all their trick plays. 2 weeks ago against the Nightcrawlers, that was a
everybody's
nice little
watching it.
Florida special. I mean, a Baltimore special.
Yeah, everybody's looking
Snap.
for it.
There's the Baltimore special.
Rocket screen was
And-
going to be right there. Beefy had the block.
But
Aunt
this is
Mo,
what I'm
you
saying
say it all the time
Aunt
about my
Mo.
guy.
This is what I'm saying. Aunt Mo has the potential to be one of the best receivers in the league. You have to make that catch.
Yeah, he
You
had a little
have
bit
to
open
make
field in
that
front of
catch.
him, and with the type of speed, when
His
he gets to the
athleticism and
second gear,
speed, Aunt Mo's taking that for at least another 30 yards. At least.
going to bring up 3rd and 13.
And with 2:45 left to play, might be the last real chance for the Rare Breed to reset the rhythm of this game.
Yeah, if we get to the 2-minute and still 13, then it's just math for the U to win this game. They do have the 3 timeouts, but they're going to need a couple big plays in a row here.
We need a touchdown from Buck.
OG Buck will
What's he
be
going to
set.
dial up? We were talking about his play calling today. See what he's got.
Snap, play action, fakes the screen. Buck throws this one downfield, and it is incomplete, and it'll be 4th and 13 with the season on the line.
Too much.
And that is where we will take you into the 2-minute warning. with 2 minutes left to play. Will the Paterson U hold firm on 4th and 13, or will the Baltimore Rare Breed find a way to get this to being a one-score game? We're going to find out on the other side of this one. We've got a whole bunch of football left, each team with 3 timeouts and looking to make July 10th a championship celebration. Who will make it to the title game? We find out on the other side. It is 33-20. The Baltimore Rare Breed at the 2-minute warning are down 2 scores and have all of their timeouts, but are hinging their hopes on this offense and that man Pac Money and Anthony Diaz along with OG Buck Rokeem Chaney to keep their hopes alive. For those wondering why the clock didn't stop after that incompletion in the A7FL, the clock only stops under 2 minutes when it comes to an incomplete pass or the play ending up out of bounds. And that only happens in the 4th and 2nd quarters. The play action on 4th down, the tip drill. Beefy cuts a field, gets to the 50 and keeps it alive, but the clock will still run because he's brought down in bounds.
That's a lot of confidence in your tight end to make sure that he makes the play after the catch, because Buck threw it before he even released the block. So great play by Beefy to get the first down, and Rare Breed keeping it moving. That is a
great awareness by Isaac to stay with it, though, because that could have been
a lot of trust in a thick boy.
First and 10. With time. Throws this one
Why
deep
not
downfield.
let it fly?
Caught! Touchdown,
Tony,
Baltimore!
is that? Oh, no.
That's Pac.
You know who that is. That's Pac.
Money!
That's Pac.
And
That's
those in
Pac.
Baltimore holding their rosary beads, saying the same exact prayers in the same exact spot on the lazy boy that they did 2 weeks ago. Just get a payoff on that touchdown pass, and with 1:23 left.
And
you
guys,
better have a groove in the couch right now, because if you're
he
moving,
cooked them off the line.
There are backwards hats that are inside out.
Oh, he got cooked off the line.
there is an
He
Ed
got
Reed Santeria
steamed off
shrine
the
right
line.
now.
Oh, my goodness.
And if you were ready to put Old Bay on this and call it a day, there's plenty more crab cakes left for the Rare Breed.
It's not over, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm going to have to go to Wire references to go back to any more Baltimore references. But if Lenny Manziel, he's back out there.
He's back out. This is crucial.
Critical because it's
Man
7
has to have a
points.
code, gentlemen.
Wow.
7 points. So this isn't make or break, but if the
crucial,
Rare
man.
Breed get it here with 3 timeouts left, they go in a position where any touchdown, they're going for it for 2, I believe.
And it looks, they will line up at the 10-yard line.
So if they get this, then if they score another touchdown and the Ute doesn't, then they win.
Montel Goods, an eligible
Here we go,
receiver.
here we go, here we
Manziel.
go.
Manziel cuts out.
He's got a lot of confidence.
Man,
Oh, my God. Manziel! What? Manziel!
Rob, what did you say about his escapability? Because I think he just summoned something from the dark hold.
Oh, my
another Disney Plus
goodness.
reference. And Lenny Manziel
Did
with a grill
Manziel
in.
just huss his way for
did.
2?
And this is now a 5-point game with a minute 23.
And now with the defensive rare breed playing the way they've been playing.
Moment of
Wow.
silence for this play right here.
Wait, hold on.
All quarterbacks
Hold on,
that
hold
can't
on.
move right here.
Huss. Bye-bye. Huss, excuse me. Wow.
And then he breaks the tackle at the
He
end.
breaks the. Let's go, man. So he had his Wheaties this morning. You can tell. Look at him. Yeah, Lenny. Oh, wow. That was impressive.
Persistence pays
Wow.
off. And Baltimore for the second straight week in a row with the clock under 2
You
minutes.
cannot count the rare breed out.
You cannot. Championship level football here, and we're only in the
What?
semifinals. And you know what the best part of it is? We have another game at the top of the hour.
Wow.
A minute 23 left to decide this one.
Oh, man, this is a very
If
important
you follow the
return.
A7FL, you guys know that I talk way too much. I'm almost speechless.
Yeah, this is crazy. I can't
Because-
believe Rare Breed is doing this again. I can't. This is nuts.
Because we've gone from the last play of the first half, which would have been in a lot of people's minds game over, going up
Right.
3 touchdowns, almost 4 touchdowns if you include that the U were able to score in their first drive of the second half. But now as Freight Train throws the ball off, if they score a touchdown without
my
the U
goodness.
scoring, they
Hold
win.
on. Hold
They
on.
just need to get an emphatic
on.
stop here. Kyle Ward plowing
great
through
stop.
to a defender,
And-
but brought down at the 24.
And guys, don't lie. I know there's a few of you that were in that chat talking about game is over. This is the game. Baltimore choke. No, don't do that. Look at Lenny. Excuse me, sir.
Here's the huss. Wait
Here
for the
come, here
huss,
come,
and then
here
you can
come.
just do it. Here, ready? Ready?
It is.
Well, Payne.
Huss. Bye.
Poor Isaac.
Unhand me.
Poor Isaac's hips
Oh, my-
right now.
In the NBA, that'd be a carry call.
He's got to get him replaced
He said
at his
Isaac needs-
age.
oh, my goodness.
Isaac has had one of the best seasons of his career. That play is like my Spanktown play where I just fell.
Them hips.
We were talking about that
crazy
earlier.
Right now.
Shout out
Those
to Chris
hips
Hunter.
Is crazy.
The hips don't lie, and neither do the scoreboard, though. But the
They
Paterson, you
tried
have
to
the
lie
ball.
on there, but they couldn't get away with it. Lenny Manziel.
Wow, Lenny. Wow.
But guys, a minute 23 left to play. Both teams have 3 timeouts left. So
And
right
what has the
now-
rare breed defense been able to do to the U offense?
Stop them and slow them
one
down.
way. They've been
Yeah.
able to stop just solely the run. So, look, we talk about the comparisons to 2 weeks ago because these rare breed are right now cardiac kids, and there's a couple of people in Baltimore right now on the verge with high blood pressure of having
I'm on the edge of my
another
seat.
heart attack.
Yeah, we got to check on
Where's my
Baltimore
inhaler?
residents because this is a lot.
But the U come out with their closer role with the D-Train and Luck in the backfield, and if they can run the clock out, they win. But right now, Rare Breed feeling real confident.
Victory formation, and here comes the D-Train, and he'll get to the 30, and that'll be a solid game there.
And the timeout
And a
called.
timeout called by Baltimore.
They're one big stop away.
minute 16, 1 timeout.
And we talked about it at the top of the broadcast, guys, when we were really talking about the X's and O's of this game. It feels like we were right. It feels like the U, they've been doing a lot of the things that they plan to do. They're doing everything that you think that you may expect from a U game plan coming in. But there's something about the destiny of this rare breed team. And if they
Right.
somehow pull this off, it's not because they played better than the U. It's not because they executed their
It's
game
'cause
plan.
they're meant to
because
be
their
here.
game plan failed.
They did.
They completely threw
did.
out their game plan and said, Lenny, save us. And Lenny's been
Lenny's
playing better than any
was
quarterback
literally
has against the
saving
U
them.
except
He
for
was
Sterry
standing-
Codrington.
He was standing there with the break glass sign around him. They broke the
76
glass.
Broke the
seconds
glass.
left.
The snap,
Okay.
the handoff, it's stopped behind the line.
Oh, my goodness.
And at the
another timeout.
27-yard line, a loss
Wow,
there.
fellas, wow. Listen, guys, please check on your Baltimore friends, guys that are at home. Check on them because right now, if
Check
I'm
on
at
your
the,
Paterson friends right
I'm
now.
at the edge of my seat, I can't imagine how a Baltimore fan feels right now.
I cannot imagine how a Paterson U fan feels because earlier in this game, like you were mentioning, guys were saying, Robin, Coffee were saying privately, is that this game felt like it was relatively close to over. But
yeah.
little did everyone know at home, in the booth here in the beautiful Asbury Park, as we have a fan somehow relatively close to the broadcast, that The Rare Breed had the U right where they wanted them, down 21 plus. Exactly where they wanted them. That is how the game was supposed to go.
Plan.
3rd and long.
Lenny Manziel.
With one timeout left. Does the U go pass here and risk an incompletion?
Oh, man. I don't.
You know that U wants to, but do they do it after seeing what happened to the Tampa Nightcrawlers?
It stops the clock. I mean, that's just.
The handoff.
Oh, Lord.
Pushing up field.
That's going to be close. That's going to be close.
It'll be where they mark it. It has to get past the 35.
Are we going to have a 4th down to decide this game, or is D-Train right? He's biased.
They're not calling the timeout either, are they?
Well, we got
the clock will keep ticking here.
Shout out to the U offensive line, because when it's 3rd and 7 and your team needs 7 yards on the ground, it's very hard to find running lanes, but the offensive line gets a push, and Darryl Luck falls forward. So it's going to be really close, and I'm not exactly – he's going bowling there. He's not – we're at 4 o'clock. We got a great game coming up.
BIC getting ready at the top of the hour. The clock is
just in case you thought you had a chance to breathe.
Yeah, don't even.
Nah.
Stay right where you at.
I'm expecting like 55 flips today. Just about 55. Even just not even on plays. Just random flips. And we have the meeting of the minds here, wondering
Brian Shamar getting his paycheck here.
This is huge.
Wondering if it's Applebee's. Maybe a nice and it's a challenge on the spot.
And one of the most important plays for either of these team seasons comes down to a replay and potentially inches, whether the Rare Breed are going to get a chance with the ball back, or if the Paterson U.
This is crazy.
Get another opportunity. This is the A7FL for all those watching at home.
And they have
if you're new to this league, if you just got introduced to the craziness of 2 weeks ago and thought that it would never repeat itself.
It's literally doing
the Rare Breed are involved in a game. They have purple in their uniform, and absolutely, yes, they are going to make it come down to the wire here. What's interesting is the 32 seconds on the clock doesn't necessarily reflect where we're going to be at, because depending on where this is and where the timeout is called,
the spot.
Freight Train right now is talking about, what's coming out. He's like, I'm not really feeling, Umbrella Academy Season 3 so far.
You're bugging that.
But we're only 2 episodes in.
That's great.
The Sparrows.
And they would have to get to the 36-yard line,
I see a lot of screaming from Ryan Shamar.
If we go back to the replay, the second effort from Darryl Luck where he falls forward,
that's not where they would have spotted.
I have a feeling he got the yardage.
You think so?
But I think the spot is a lot closer, because they could have potentially called forward progress stopped, which would be what the Rare Breed is potentially arguing here.
I think it's where the whistle was. I feel like where the whistle was would be the most. We're going to take a brief time out. We got to figure this out while we review the call. On the other side of this one, we'll find out who's making their trip to the A7FL championship game. Is it the Paterson U with trip number 4, or the Rare Breed with trip number 1? We'll find out on the other side of this contentious showdown on Stadium. We are live here. It is the A7FL playoffs, and it looks like we're trying to figure out what the call on the field was. 33-28 your score, and it looks like they've given the Paterson U the first down. And the clock will run. It'll be reset, to 32 seconds. So it could be a coronation for the Paterson U here. The referee is giving him that 1 yard and in a false start. And
Nani looking for his bound of flesh.
4th and
And the clock will.
That's going to be a very controversial call.
And it's very rare, guys, in football that the deciding factor of the game is the replay showing if we got enough yards on the 3rd and 7 on the run. And as the clock ticks down, we're going to get clarification, but it was just such a great effort from the U offensive line to open up the holes when everyone knew it was going to be a run play. And Darrell Luck falling forward on that 3rd down and 7, getting the extra 1 yard, falling forward. And the U, even though the rare breed made everything worth it, looks like the U guys going to have another opportunity at BIC this year, which will be their 3rd. But the really, guys, the only one that matters.
And the 4th straight year, the Paterson U will go to the A7FL championship game as they defeat the Baltimore Rare Breed in a nail-biter, a literal nail-biter. 33-28, 5 points separated here. And you know what? A lot of credit to the Paterson U, but the Baltimore Rare Breed showing up and showing out today. I think they're going to be back in the Final Four 100%. This time next year. What an effort, what a play. But you know what, guys? We've got another game coming up next. And the Trenton BIC, adorned in the red. They are wearing the blood red death row jerseys. Will they be able to get into the rematch? We got one half of last year's championship in. Will the BIC be able to make it to the other side? We're going to find out in 5 minutes' time. It's time to see who can bring it on Sunday. The A7FL championship on July 10th. Will it be UBIC 3 or will the Gators play spoiler? We find out on the other side.